Big up, big up, big up, and welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I'm Liberal 12th Man, and I'm joined by Nalante today, and we'll be having Brian and possibly some other panelists on with us for this review show. Always a fun day to kind of like watch, or not watch, but see how everyone's opinions on the game is maybe a day after everything's cooled down, a little bit. The adrenaline's not pumping anymore, and you kind of got a little bit of a sensible head to kind of give a real, concrete evaluation. So that's why we're here today, and that's why I'm glad to see you in the chat joining us today too. How you doing, Alante, today?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. Oh yeah, so big up Trap Joe, big up Cedric all the time, long time. Cedric, man, in is also big yourself up and the others, man. We know there's more of you to come, so big
Yeah.
yourself up. But yeah, man, I'm good. So, what I will say, 12, I've got a question, but again, that'll be way at the end, near the end anyway.
Okay.
I've got another poser for the
Okay.
chat, but yeah, we'll leave that for there.
Nice. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
excited to see what it is. I'm definitely excited to see it is. I'm sure those in the chat are too. Big up to one of our red jewels. Definitely Marion in the house. Big up, big up. Always a blessing to see you. Cedric,
big up,
Trap
Marianne.
Joe, and once again, big up to both of you. I'm sure that we've got some interesting takes to say the least, probably for this game. I usually like to start the show by saying the whole what was your feel good moment of the game? Like what was the moment of the game where you're just like, okay, nice. That's the one that you'll repeat like at the gathering, or when you're with your buddies, or with your pals and you're talking about the game. That's the one that you'll bring up. Be like, remember that moment when da 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 happened? What was it for you?
12, to be honest, it's two things. It is not a moment, so. What I'll say is number one, because I've been, the player that I've been critical of him on certain aspects. I think you know who I'm talking about. 12,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Altman. Look. I want to see. I mean, I won't overglow it, but I was a little bit worried. I can't lie, but his defender was on point. He locked up shop.
Yeah.
Sancho was in the back pocket, and Neto as well. I was really impressed with that. And even though he went past him one or two times at the end, but I'll allow that again. He's the next sub. He's fresh, so yeah. And the second one for me, there was a touch. I saw it. I think it was Grav or was it Jones? And
Mm-hmm.
Nunes done some kind of flick to Salah, some nice touch play
Mm-hmm.
to start an attack. So those are the two moments. Apart from the obvious, but I'm going to do something different. So yeah.
Okay. Please do, and put your feel good moment, or the moment that you would the one that you'd like to talk about the most, or the one that you enjoyed the most. It could be bad, it could be good. Just a matter of a moment that you were just like, feel good normally is a good moment, not a bad moment. But I mean, like, I guess I don't know. I the feel I don't know if I would call it the feel good moment, but like I guess right when I did have I had a couple of different moments of my own as well. But let me bring in the Irishman before I get into any of my little thoughts there. Irishman, how are you doing today?
Yep, I'm all good. How are you?
I am well
Yeah.
as well after a victory, Top of the league to
Big up,
you.
bro.
Top of the league to everyone in the chat. Those of us that
Big
are
up, bro.
Reds, please.
Sorry, you go ahead. I'm still getting some stuff.
No worries.
Together.
Yeah, I can drop
Cool.
it. I guess big up High Lord.
No,
big up.
just leave it on mute.
Okay, High Lord. Big up Joe. Big up Jimmy. Excuse me. I said thinking of someone else. Joey. I know Joey's watching. That's why. Trap Joe in the house. I was gonna say one of the moments that I had, and this is like I guess like I don't know if it's necessarily my top feel good moment, but I will say obviously the feel good moment for me was the fact that I did want to see. I believed Curtis Jones. This was his opportunity. I thought that it was like it's an incredible thing, when I know I got a little bit of like all in rush when I said that he needs to make Chelsea. He needs to become Chelsea's daddy, and he kind of did. Tell you the truth, he did boss the pitch yesterday. And but I'll tell you, one of the moments I had was when I saw Darwin Nunez, shoulder to shoulder, by the way, Brody, the Chelsea defender, off the ball, was about to turn, have like, you know, a real his one really big opportunity to possibly get on the score sheet, and they called a foul, which was absolutely trash call. Absolutely, the refereeing. I know we don't want to. I know there's those of us that don't like to talk about it, but this referee was putrid today, or yesterday at least. But all the same, and then you even saw Arnie Slot, the normal, calm, demure, you know, like you know, just like, you know, tempered, you know, spirited attitude on the pitch, just go crazy. He was like. He ended up getting a yellow as well, I believe it was for that one too. But like,
yeah,
that was like my feel like, guys, and that was my feel good moment. Like, guys, and despite the fact that yes, I understand no one wants to see your coach get a yellow, you know, and also you don't want to see like, but it was just the fact that you saw some real passion and emotion, and it was just on display. Kind of, it was a little bit of, you know, resemblance of that Klopp era. I'm not going to say he wasn't on the Klopp meter. He wasn't necessarily like on the same level, but it was good to see that. I mean, I like that he was angry, that he was, you know, obviously fighting for his players, and just it was a necessary moment for me, I think. Let me see if is anyone else. I was just looking to see. I think everyone's just saying hello to each other in the chat. Hyler saying Curtis Jones playing the flow of being a father, and playing like a burst of sunshine. Yes, he was, for sure. Yeah, he definitely was. Irishman, are you? Do you have a little feel good moment?
I've been trying to think of something, but no, not really. To be honest, nothing that. No, to be honest, I just nothing that like that way. There was some good moments in the game, but no, nothing that I thought stood out spectacularly in that game. It's just another kind of efficient performance, really. That going to have to get used to, probably even against lower teams. Just kind of, if it was a good game, but no, there was nothing that really. Like, I might think of something later on, but. Not off the top of my head, not trying to be Debbie Downer, but literally just can't think of some, you know, that fits the brief, you know. But yeah, it was sad to see. Yeah, with Darwin coming on was good, but it's kind of it's unfortunate again to see Jota going off.
Yeah,
that would be only kind of bit of a downer on the game. But
yeah.
No, the look on Caldwell's face, just on the refereeing. I mean, he gave us a penalty. He tried to give us another one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in real time, that did look like a penalty, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, he called it. He gave, you know, on the thingy, like, even still, you know, with a slight rule change, that's a penalty. It's just a rule at the moment means that tiny little touch he got on at first meant it wasn't a penalty. But no, I thought it was fine. Like, he didn't.
It could have been a reckless. Could have been it could have been almost.
Hey, look, he tried to give it to us. We got a card. Or we got a penalty.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Yeah.
We got another pen. I thought it was okay.
You know what? That goalkeeper is the same goal. Isn't that the same goalkeeper that almost
Bobby Sanchez?
Yeah, isn't he the same goalkeeper that almost like decapitated Diaz? Isn't he the same goalkeeper?
Oh yeah, when we beat Brighton 1-0, I think they came. I think he scored the goal and then he took him out.
Yeah,
because Luis Diaz got to the ball first and he scored. Yeah, same one.
Same one.
Roberto Stanchinio.
Yeah.
He's a better DJ than his goalkeeper.
Yeah. Well, you know what? To be fair, Brian 12, to be honest, I was watching one of the Chelsea fans on the Big Six, and he listen, they're honest, and he's a real one. He keeps it real. He said he's got bozo moments in him, and yeah, sadly he didn't cover himself in glory last year. Well, good for us.
No, Speaking of, I mean, since you did, big up to the streets. I see the streets have arrived. Big up to Bonkers, by the way, Red Armchair supporter.
Hey, crap.
I think I said hello to Jimmy, but I'll say hello to Jimmy again. It's always good. And I was going to say, well, let's just get into, before we get into, obviously, we're going to have the ratings. So, please do stick around for that to be able to put in your 2 cents as to what you think that these players played or what levels you thought they played at yesterday. But I wanted to get into some of the more controversial calls, I guess, or the more controversial moments. And we can get into some of the highlights as well, but and your thoughts. But I wanted to get into, I guess, to start off with the controversial moments. The first one, I guess you could certainly say, was the foul that was a yellow card. Considering what had happened the day before with Arsenal, I've heard a lot of different people talk about different variations or variables that they put into the factoring in. Like, I heard someone say, well, Diego's not a fast player, so he wouldn't have gotten to it, or they were like rating the speeds, like as if they were like taking the FIFA cards or something like that, and comparing the speed levels of the players that had options of getting to that ball. But was that a red? Was it a red card, or was it just a simple yellow? I mean, it looked like Diego did have a obviously a pathway towards getting to the ball first. It also looked like he would have been in on goal by himself, and it also unfortunately the foul ended up causing him to be have to eventually be taken off the pitch. He tried to play through it, just couldn't really go any further, and obviously Nunez had to come in. So, what were your thoughts on that particular play, Irishman?
Which, the one where he was clean through on goal? Like, was it a yellow or?
Yeah, the one they got, the one that he ended up giving him a yellow, but I thought it was a clear path. I thought he was the last defender, and he would have had a breakaway on goal, but the referee saw elsewise.
No, I didn't think it was a red. I didn't think he was last man. Clearly, I think Saliba one was different. Yeah, they only need to be slightly different. So no, I thought yellow was all right. I thought he got all the calls right. I thought the penalty was a penalty. I thought the non-penalty was not a penalty. Letter of the law. I didn't think that was a red. Thought it was a yellow. So no, I'm cool with it.
So it's definitely some differing opinions in the chat too. I saw Crab said it was a pen for him. Let me see. I just brought up Jimmy says it was a red card, rugby tackle, and we lost Diego over it. Absolutely. Red Armchair supporter believes he was the last man. We can go. We'll go into the. I can go into this. I guess we could go into the Salah penalty too, or not non-call as well. Because originally he did give him an. I think he let him give him an advantage, and then he got pushed, and then he was told him to get up. So we could definitely get into that one. Let's see, which one was it? But yeah, there's differing opinions. Hylor, I think Hylor said it wasn't a pen, not a red, not a red, not a penalty. Question mark. So are you saying?
No.
I just want to make sure I have the right context for that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Not a red, not a penalty.
Well, like he says, you debate refs over and over and over. It's going to happen. We're going to be here every week. Well, some people make shows out of it. Like the most, my anti-feel-good moment for yesterday was, and I thought like it really kind of almost sucked the life out of it a little bit, was because I'm not overly used to this. There was a moment, and we just scored. If you have Sky Sports, we just scored, and it was kind of like a little celebratory moment. And just out of fucking nowhere, Howard Webb comes on the co-coms and gives us like, yeah, no, that was good. The goal's all good. There's nothing to worry about. It's like, fuck off, man. No one wants to hear from you right now. Like, it's just, you know, they've got this thing like where he comes in and they ask him, but like out of nowhere, it's like we're celebrating a goal kind of thing, and all of a sudden the voice coming over TV is Howard Webb saying, "Yeah, that's okay, that's good, that's horrible. They should never do that again." We don't need a ref's immediate voiceover. We can see what has been given. That to me is just like, no, don't do that. It's already bad enough when they have like a third or a second co-commentator who comes in every now and again, just out of nowhere, and then you have like 3 people talking over the game. Like, if you want to talk to these guys at halftime, fine, do it. But take the bloody ref off my commentary. I don't want to hear some idiot ref coming on and going, "Yeah, boys, that's all good. You're okay. You're good to go there." Get out of here, man. You're just nobody invited you, man.
Yeah, Howard Webb's already going through a little controversy for himself. I think there was the pictures of him at the Arsenal game when that call got when they made that call. He was on. He had an earpiece in, and he had his phone out, and he actually was texting something. Now I don't know if it was like an actual earpiece that's hooked up directly to so he can hear what's being said in the bar booth, or if it's just his own little earpiece for his own phone. But some were saying that he was directly trying to give him some direction. It was kind of controversy. Yeah, tin hat type stuff.
Yeah. That's for Arsenal fans. Let them. They can
hash that part.
They're having articles written about him now by Arsenal people about how Arsenal fans have completely taken over the role of losing their minds about refs now. Even the normal ones are starting to believe that there is. Like, we think we've got like all our, they genuinely think there's a conspiracy against them to stop them winning the league by referees. This is Arsenal fans right now. So, yeah, let them guys lose their minds over this shit. We won the game. They're losing their minds over the tiniest little things. It's like, you got a guy sent off for kicking a ball away, right? That's stupid. Okay, so what was your next guy sent off for? Guess what? Kicking a ball away. Do you not think that might be your problem as opposed to a referee's problem?
Right.
No, but the refs are out to get them, man. Yeah.
Nalante, was that a foul was that a red card for you? Was that should have been obviously a booking, but it should have been a harsher booking, or was it a proper booking? And and obviously I know you're disappointed that Diego got hurt, but it's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's again. I think I echo what Brian says. I don't have no problem with the yellow card. It's kind of hard. It was kind of clear. He was going to be clear through. Would it be caught up? Maybe, because Joe doesn't have the pace like that, something like that. But I think if it would have been, again, it's the inconsistency, because Lever gets the red card and Jota doesn't. Now, whether we agree or disagree in the chat and panel, that's the problem with the refereeing, and that's just point blank periods. We've got this. So, I mean, it was what it was, to be honest. I think if the incident was more closer to the goal, I know it really shouldn't be a thing, more closer, then I think the referee would have sent him off, if I'm honest. But like Brian, I think I agree with Brian this one.
Okay.
Don't make a habit of it.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
Brian, listen, I would have been nice to you because of what happened yesterday, yeah? We'll go back to argue next week.
All right.
I will admit, though, I do see it the way that Jimmy, I see it the way that Ross the Crab sees it. If it was a pen, I get that it was slightly different in the sense of it was a little bit more. It was certainly a deeper pass and the likes but I just don't know. Like the whole is who knows? Maybe Diego has a burst of speed, or maybe or who knows if that guy would have been able to catch up to him, bring an angle. Maybe the other guy commits even a worse foul trying to stop him. I just thought that my perspective was he was the last man, and he was certainly. They created prevented a goal scoring opportunity with that foul. But the other foul that was just mentioned in the chat too was the Salah foul. The first one happened outside I think it happened outside the box. The first vanish they allowed to play on. Outright foul. Anyone can see.
Oh yeah.
Then in the box, Salah gets pushed, basically, and he does fall down from it, and the referee tells him to get up and play on, right? Now, I get that it might have been soft, but considering that the player fouled him initially, trying to prevent him from getting into the box, then he gets inside the box, and then he goes as far as to push him. I think that's the reason why it could have been called a pen. It would have. I know there would have been those out there that would have said it's soft in the likes. However, it was like the player has to understand the circumstances, and that you're just compounding on top of a bad play, which you could have gotten called for already, and now you go and make it worse by, saying, "No, well, I might as well just roll the dice again." That's at least my perspective again. I'll start with Nolante. Was that something that should have been called, or was that? And Trap Joe, you're right about the handball. We got to talk about that too in a little bit. There were so many calls in this game that were kind of wild. We're going to get into the Trent one too. It's almost like we're almost doing our VAR review here. But I mean, like, what was that something that you saw that way too? Did you think that the Salah penalty or non-call for a penalty should have been a penalty? And then I'd like to talk about the Trent call, because that's what a lot of Chelsea fans are calling for. I heard the football terrorist guys and them all like try to say that was a foul too. So
yeah, I mean, what I would say is, I know, and just to reiterate, Brian, can you answer for me again, please? We'll see. I'm agree with Brian this one. Yeah. So again, if we're comparing the Trent one with Sancho, yes, both got touches, but I mean, if we're calling both of them pens, then yeah, I think something seriously wrong. For me, no. Salah done well the first one. That's what but he just kind of milked it. That's the problem. If he would have just kind of, and sometimes Salah does this, and I've got to keep it real. Sometimes he does milk the penalties a lot, and he kind of milked it a bit. If he would have, but naturally he would have been given, but nah, not for me, not a pen. No.
Okay. Brian, was that pen, and then
was a bit milky, all right.
That was one, and then can you follow up on the Trent one too? On the Trent non-call.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brian. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I already answered about Trent. Sorry. Go on, Brian. Yeah, I just said same. No pen really. Like, yeah, Trent touched him, but Sancho just milked it really.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go ahead, Brian.
The Salah one, yeah, I think like what Nalante's saying, it wasn't obvious, and he did milk it a bit. It was pretty milky. So
pretty milky.
I like that connotation, Brian. Yeah, milky bar, bit milky.
Yeah. Move on. But gets up. We get the next one. He buries it. No. Chelsea boys, they can all feel like this is the thing. They're probably on their show now, talking about all the calls that went against them. And they probably have just as much to say about it. It's these guys that do your head in. Like, if you let them, referees, not Chelsea, well, both actually, but mainly referees. But I just think when we got the calls, when we won the game, I'm prepared to kind of just leave a few. Leave a few go. We got them. We got the majority of them. Yeah, I don't think there was really enough in either. But you've seen both given. You've seen them given in different referee in a different game. It's just you don't want them. You don't want them going against you in a Champions League final or in a title decider or something like that, or you're 1-0 down against City at home and you got a horrible one. These ones. I'm still of the opinion that they even themselves out over the season. They probably don't. You don't get as many good ones as you do bad ones. I just think they even themselves out in the way that everybody gets bad ones, because these guys are just as bad every week for everybody else. But the Salah one, like I said, you've seen him given, and the Sancho one, I thought Trent did really well against him, so it would have been a bit unlucky.
Yeah,
Trent had a good game at right back, so would have been unlucky.
How about the there was a shout for handball too, by the way. There was a shout for handball. I thought it was. I thought it could have been a shout.
Yeah, I thought that was a handball. Yeah, I thought that was a handball. Yeah. I don't know if it's one of those ones there where he didn't give it because of what happened. It's like, I know it hit him. Maybe it's that one of those stupid rule things where, I don't know, because there's so many subset rules now for handballs in different scenarios and stuff. Like you can't have not seen it. So,
right. Agreed on that one. Well, I think we got through all of them. I think pretty much all the ones. We're not the one like you said about the Jones. Jones is a second almost penalty. I think was a right. I understand why it wasn't called. Why it wasn't deemed as a penalty. You could see the touch by the goalkeeper. So
if they changed that, like that's the same in a season, they could change that rule. Couldn't that's one of those really easy changeable rules where he did get a touch, but he cleared out the player afterwards, kind of thing. So that's one of those ones I could see in a year's time that could be a penalty. I think it's literally only that one tiny little touch on the ball, but he still, takes to get whatever. That's one of those ones in a different scenario. It could be seen as a penalty. It'd be like, we don't care that he got a tiny touch. He cleared the player.
Right. Yeah. The Diego Jota or Diego Jota penalty, or not penalty, but at least a card and foul was one that we saw him have to be eventually taken from the pitch, and it's one that is what is looking like he's going to be missing our next match, at least our next match, which is this Wednesday. Whether it ends up being more than that, we are waiting and hoping it's not, but waiting to see on that one. But I know
Did
that
they say what it was.
I haven't heard what it was, but I know that Arne Slot spoke about it in the presser afterwards, and he said that he thought he'd be surprised to see if he was available at all for the upcoming match. So yeah, I don't. I'm hoping that it ends up being maybe like just a bruised, rib or something like that, where maybe and that's even still painful and stuff. I don't know if anyone's ever
just landed on him, didn't he? It's just he just landed.
Yeah.
And he played on as well, so that just means that could be literally anything.
Yeah,
like if he was able to play on, and it's like getting winded almost. Someone lands on you. Probably
if it is. It looked like I thought it was like something with the rib cage. I thought maybe I wasn't a part of the assessment team or like that, or in the medical team to make the assessment. But I mean, it looked like he landed on his ribs. I know I've had my some of us have probably had a shot to the ribs or something like that, where if you ever have a bruised rib or something like a
broken
fractured rib, something like that, it is horrible. Because everyone's got to breathe, so
sneezing.
It's just not easy.
Oh man, if you sneeze when you've just broken ribs,
it's the worst.
Anything like
absolute that. Worst. Absolute
it's like
worst.
Getting kicked by a horse.
Yeah, absolute worst. So we're hoping for the best for Diego, and hoping that he can that he gets back from whatever it is that's ailing him. And I don't know if anyone else has heard anything as of yet, but that is something I'm hoping that it is good things, good news. I hope that we get to hear at least back. We started this game not the lineups. I wanted to ask the lineup question. Were you happy with the lineups that you saw? I know we had the roll call. I know some of us were somewhat surprised to see some of the names on the starting list, on the starting lineup. Obviously, hindsight with what you got to see. Are you still happy? Obviously, you were happy you got the win, but do you think that the players deserve to start, or was it more so that we wanted to did we really want to see it? Because we ended up seeing Diaz play. We ended up seeing McAllister get some minutes as well. Very late McAllister minutes. But Diaz did get some early minutes. Kind of didn't do my fantasy team any glory or any help. But all the same, he got some minutes. He had played 154 minutes for Colombia. Cody, which is very interesting, had played pretty much the same amount of minutes for his national team, but the wear and tear of the travel probably made the factor, or was probably the deciding factor in who got the start yesterday. Bernie's saying Robbo looked badly fatigued. Okay. It was interesting to see. I mean, we didn't have Connor on the bench, so Gomez got to get the deputy duties for the right back position. I didn't mind that too, by the way. I don't know if you guys felt the same. I know we've spoken on how like Arsenal plays with basically almost a virtual 6 center backs practically, and how Manchester City does something very similar almost. But I didn't mind seeing Gomez back there. He's definitely a defensive presence, especially at right back and even at left back. What were your thoughts on the lineup yesterday? Nalante, what were your thoughts? Were you happy with it? Or would you have done something different? Would you have maybe started someone different?
I think, like the majority of us, I thought Slob was going to revert back to type, because I was pleasantly surprised to get Paul. Not so much, because he's been performing on off the bench, or he started the last game. I thought Palace, he was my man in the match from what I remember. So I'm not surprised. And Diaz, and McAllister, I was surprised he was dropped for Jones, but I kind of understand due to South America, even though he was rested, kind of played only half an Argentinian rest. But I think I've heard reports with the Argentinian Federation and Liverpool being in contact regarding McAllister's minutes, which is good. So they've got some kind of good report going there. So yeah, that's about it really.
Okay. Brian, your thoughts?
Didn't have any problems with the lineup. I had a problem with who wasn't playing. I didn't want us to have to play Jones because it meant there was something wrong with McAllister.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really all. Gakpo was a surprise. I thought, he'd give these boys the reverse, as opposed to coming on for half an hour, giving them an hour and taking them off with half an hour left. So it was a surprise to see him make the 2, especially when one was almost certainly an enforced change. There's no way he would wanted to go into that game without a McAllister. But so that's why I was surprised to see him make 2 changes like that. But that was fine. And then it just shows, we talk about sliding doors all the time, moments, taking chances, and Curtis comes in and wins a penalty, nearly wins another penalty, scores a goal, and probably one of the best players on the pitch, or I know a lot of people were giving him man of the match or man of the match awards and stuff. So, it's just what can happen, but looking at it on the thing, it's just like, oh, okay, so Max out, but it just shows you, he went in and against probably his best game for Liverpool. I don't know if someone can tell me if he's had a better game. I'm not sure. Someone said it's his first goal since New Year's Day. So, he'll be feeling pretty. He's just had a baby now. He scored his first goal in nearly a year. So he'll be feeling pretty good this week.
Yeah.
Nice little bonus in the bank. Put an extra layer of, I don't know, paint on the baby room or something. I don't know. He's got, but he's had a great week. So fair play to him. Fair play. Absolutely brilliant. That's what you need. someone like Matt, because he was obviously, like you said, he was only good for a couple of minutes. He didn't even get the half hour. He just got a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly he was, like we're saying, probably red line, probably all it was. But yeah, you can't ask for better, really, can you?
I think it was.
No one was
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily something like as in. I know that we had the concerns about him maybe picking up an injury, or not necessarily injury, but him having concerns with his fitness, and I know Argentina was trying to monitor his minutes somewhat. They ended up playing him. They're playing for qualification, so and he's a very important player for their team. So they definitely wanted to take precautions, but also utilize him as much as they could. And I cannot, but I was glad to see it wasn't possibly because of the injury more so. Because if it was an injury, then I wouldn't. What's the point in trying to push the envelope, as you were saying too? Like if it was more so, you're just trying to keep him from the compilation of minutes. That's definitely a different story. So I'm glad to see that it looked to be more of the latter than the prior. But again, what was I lost my train of thought, but it was something of it was interesting in your mind, because I know I heard this too. A lot of Chelsea supporters were taking this as what's the word I'm looking for? They were taking it as like, oh, they didn't get the victory, but it was like, what's it? It's a moral victory in a sense for them. They were basically saying talking about.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Of
all the teams to go down the moral victory route, that's amazing. How the dark side has fallen, I suppose, whatever it is. Now they're claiming moral victories. Moral victories only cost about £1 billion. That's all. That's £1 billion for a moral victory at Anfield.
What's funny about it too is that they kept referencing the fact that people were saying that they were going to get smashed in this game, like it was going to be a wake up call, like they were going to get absolutely like run off the pitch and blah 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 blah. I don't think really many people were really saying that. People understood the fact that they were in form and that they've definitely shown some capabilities of playing good football. And
no, I went with a 1-0. I went with a 1-0.
Yeah. I did go 3-0. But that's not necessarily getting demolished. 3-0 is
6-0 or any shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was kind of confused with some of the takes that I saw and heard from rivals, and especially from the Chelsea supporters and even from some neutrals. That's why I was kind of interested to hear what you guys thought about that. Because I wouldn't have taken that. I didn't really see it that way at all.
I said a 1-0 game. I said it was a 1-0 game in my head. And if I was someone, if I remembered my prediction, I said it was going to be a 1-0 game. And the previous person picked 2-1, so I said, so I'll pick 1-0. But I had never, and most people I know were going like, 2-1, maybe 2-0. I didn't see anybody apart from the usual kind of jokey comments out there saying 6 or 7-0. But most people knew that was going to be 100%, definitely our toughest match of the season so far, and probably by a distance. Well, in the Premier League, definitely by a distance. Maybe you could say an AC Milan was a difficult game. Of course it was. But by a distance, I mean, Manchester United doesn't count. So there was no arrogance on Anfield, I don't think.
I don't think so. And by the way, Arnie even gave a shout to, I guess you could say a shout to the Red Devils by saying, putting them as, he made a point to say that Chelsea is a really good team, and that they were he was expecting what he saw yesterday or on the pitch from this team, but he also gave a shout to Red Devils saying that this is not the first big time club that we had to take on. Manchester United was one that he
being
mentioned.
polite there.
Yeah, maybe so. But did you think, Nalante? Did you think that we had the other pushback from Chelsea fans? And again, I watch. I don't know if I should say I watch too much YouTube. Maybe some would say I do watch a little bit too much YouTube, but but there's only so much. There's only so much when we're doing 4-hour shows on the channel here too. But they were saying that they believe they controlled yesterday. Like, as in, they thought that, I don't necessarily want to say that they thought they were hard done by the result, but they thought that they were a better team. One, I saw one article that had that as the headline. I saw an actual broadcast that actually had that narrative. And I guess they were just simply going by the fact that they had the majority of the possession. They had 57. I'll bring up the stats too while you speak. Do you think that that's the case too?
With Chelsea, yeah, I think it's a bit weird. Some of them are doing the whole mob. I mean, possession is great, yeah, but if you don't do anything with it, then it's useless. If it's vice versa, I've been saying the same for us. We could have 90 possession. If we don't get any shots on target, one shot on target, it's poor. So the moral victory is just, again, like Brian said, it's just how the mighty have folded with all that billions of spam of Felix didn't come on, etc. The fake Ukraine, the Ukraine they thought they were getting, and he was basically is a B-Tech version of Usain Bolt. But anyway, yeah, what I would say is with Chelsea, I think when I was watching the big seat, some of their stuff, and Ma, who's one of the Chelsea fans, he's very realistic. He said we didn't deserve to get anything. He's realistic, and one thing we did well was, again, as a unit, which, as we all know, has proved in the shot, we played well. And I thought Chelsea would be a bit more threatening attacking wise. They were informed. They were the informed team. And big up JK, by the way. Hope you're good, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They were informed team. They had the goals. I think, was it a 4-match winning run? Palmer was, Brian's favorite player, Brian Palmer. Obviously, he's finding goals left, right, and centre. And he had Sancho doing bits, and then Jackson. So I thought there'd be more of a threat. They'll get some goal. But the way we shut up, I'm very surprised, and fair play to the defence and the whole team. They did well. And Paul Palmer, when he does the thing, well, where is he at? He was frozen, kept in the fridge. He didn't come out.
Yeah.
All this Palmer hype. Where were you?
He had a couple of shots that he could have done well on too. There was that one that he skied over the bar.
Yeah, apart from that, that was it. And then one which, credit to Curtis, what a block that was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so for them, because the reason why it's a moral victory for them, I get it, which is just so funny, is the fact that they don't expect to be anywhere near the title race. Their thing is top 4, and we're a better team for them. Hence, maybe some of them thought we were going to get smoked. So 2-1, and Maresca, who's a bit of an idiot, another fake Pep fraud, saying, "Oh, we matched them. We didn't deserve this. Oh, we had lots of opportunity to do that at Anfield. To do what, my guy? To do what? To pass the ball for 90 minutes and not create any chances?
Exactly.
Come on, man. Another fake Pep. Go to bed, man. Eat some pasta or something, man." Anyway,
this right here you can see is the momentum of the game, according to SofaScore. There's bouts and bits that they had, but the first, as you can see, that first half was just a lot. It wasn't anything. It was just a lot of just passing. It wasn't really like opportunity creating passes. It was a lot of just passing, because there was primarily 2 big chances created by us, only 1 big chance in the first half, and then In the second half, there was one big chance created by us, two big chances created by them. So it wasn't necessarily them bossing the game and unfortunate because of a call here or a call there type situation. At least that's how I'm looking at it. Yeah,
No, I think they controlled a large part of the first half. They had pretty much, yeah, like you can see most of the ball there, but they weren't really able to. Yeah, they weren't really able to do. They had the Palmer chance, but yeah, I think they had probably the better of the first half. If you look at it, not there. I mean, if you just look at the game, I think I think they had the better of that, but there was an obvious switch up. But I think, see, the most important thing was that's all fine, you know, like all that shit there, like and what they can say about that, but that was when it was at a certain. That doesn't take into account anything about where the game was at. Like that doesn't tell you what the score was there. You know, we were playing that game as it was. And we were happy enough. Yeah, they had the ball, but they were getting at us a little bit, but we weren't, you know, trying to do certain things. We were happy to sit there. And you could see that as soon as they scored, what did we do? We scored immediately. We went up. It's like we went up a gear. We had gears to go up. Like just the way that game was playing out. He was probably happy enough, you know, made a few changes, but you could see that that was them in top gear. That was them at their best. We were kind of like controlling. We had gears to go up, that we could go up. I don't think they had gears to go up. Like I just think the flow of it, when we needed to go up and take control of it again, and we got the goal again, and then we come back down a little bit. You know, I just think they can look at it and say, "Oh, we were better than them. We were better than them here and there." Yeah, but we weren't in. We were still in kind of first round mode. We were keeping it arm's length. We weren't going at full bore. That wasn't us at our best. That was he going full at us. And we shut down Palmer, shut down to a degree the right hand side, but they didn't do much because Reece James was sitting in basically. But yeah, I just thought it was a team that they might have looked as good as us in that first half for a while, but only because we weren't really even at a second gear. And when we needed to, we showed we could go up. We got to go quickly. I don't think and then they showed they couldn't go up again to come back at us and match us. Do you know what I mean?
How do you feel about? I'll ask you. I'll do a quick follow up question, and I'll ask Delonte the same question too, or at least for his opinion. How do you feel about the fact that it seemed as though we were set up more to be? It's just what Hyler's bringing up too, somewhat related to what Hyler's bringing up with the statistics, that we were set up to be more of a counterattack than it was more than the control. Let's just go at it and try, because we obviously didn't control the majority of the possession. It seemed like we were willing to concede them to have the possession, and then also just try to attack them with the counter, as opposed to what we've seen in some other games lining up. Was it because is that because of the opposition, or was that just because that was initially just our game plan going in, as into like this is the game that we want to play? Irishman?
Wasn't around on mute.
Yes.
Excuse me. Of course, I think no. Again, I'm not the tactical guy, but you know, I just saw two videos there by Adam Cleary, and one was on what was happening in the game, it broken down, and it was mainly in terms of how they were getting at our system in the first half, and Arne Slot changed at halftime basically, and kind of nullified what they were doing and swung the pendulum back in our way. So that's what I think the game kind of looks like. They were, and I maybe on pitch is more, but I've always been a big fan of a manager who will try something, but then can immediately change it at halftime. some managers, they kind of like, they're not really sure. Like, I'm just a big fan of a manager that can kind of just look at something and go, okay, I can move a guy here and there right now while we're still in play. But managers who can analyze exactly what a team has done, and they've got boys doing that on laptops and cutting up videos from. They have little mini game reviews already done by the time they get to the dressing room, and they can devise a new plan and change it up and counteract what the other guy is doing. And Arne Slot did that very well. Now, I'm not going to go into that because that's not my bag. There's videos out there that explain it way better than me. But I've always been a fan of a coach that can change on the fly and recognize why their system isn't working perfectly, what he needs to do to change it, how he can change it, and then implement that. And he looks to have done that yesterday, and he's got a lot of praise online from the tactics people for the changes that he made, his reaction, and Chelsea are being praised for their setup in the way that they got at us, knowing what thinking that they knew what we were going to do. But it shows that Slot can counteract it, because you're going to have to do that. You're going to come up against people in games who are not going to be playing the way you thought they were going to be, or who are going to be starting people you didn't think
they didn't come out. I mean, I don't think many people had Enzo not starting this game. I think that, like, as you look at their lineup, there were some players on obviously our squad that, yes, we were surprised to see starting, but also Lavia, considering that even a lot of the Chelsea content creators were saying that they weren't expecting him to play simply because it was Lavia coming back to fitness. They didn't expect him to play. I also don't think that some really expected them to have Reece James playing. Some were actually kind of disappointed, which is wild, pretty wild to say, considering that this is a player that is being deemed as being, one of the best right backs in the league, and is also their captain. Some of the content creators on their side of the fence were saying that they didn't expect Reece James to play as well. And then to have Gusto starting on the left side as opposed to playing on the right was something of a surprise as well.
And then he went fully inverted. Gusto basically played in the number 8 in the box ahead of the two boys, Lavia and Caicedo sit in, and Gusto was playing as a basically an inverted left back alongside Cole Palmer. But they were showing how that was the plan, but it didn't work, because it's all well and good doing that, and you can get the ball to him, and that's tactics, right? And that's fine. But the whole bit stops when the ball gets to his feet, because when the ball gets to his feet, he still has to do something with it. And they showed how he got in positions, but because he's Malo Gusto, he's not David Silva, he's not Cole Palmer, he didn't have the ability to do something with the ball, because he's a fullback playing under. So it's nice tactic and all that, but once you get the ball to the guy, he actually has to be able to execute, and he couldn't execute. So it was an interesting little thing that he was doing, like fair play. It's nice to see that kind of stuff, invention, but like I said, that was probably them at their highest, right? This is what we're going to do. We're going to do that. They won't be expecting that. We're going to go right at them for the minute. And as soon as we kind of had their move figured out and we went up a gear, they couldn't follow us. They had nothing to come up, and they couldn't come up again. That was their move, and that was it.
Yeah. Let's see. I think Monte's still on he's on mute, so he might be dealing with.
And we did do a great job on Palmer. People are saying we did. A lot of people in chat. If I haven't said hello to every bonkers. Callum isn't in yet, bonkers. So if he does come in, I'll ask him about that. Yeah, we did a great job shutting down Palmer, other than that one chance that he had. And Madueke looked decent first half. Got a Robbo a few times, but nothing came. But as long as nothing comes of it, we're okay. I think we did a good job of all the people we were talking about before that were dangerous. Sancho, Madueke, Palmer. We did a good job of keeping them all really quiet.
Yeah. Big up, KJ. I see you in the house. Big up to Lee as well. And let's see. So Hyler's question or statement about we made Palmer disappear like he was Houdini. That's funny. I'd say it's no better time than to get into some of these ratings then, since we do have a pretty nice size chat, nice size group audience out here. And it'll help us out because we definitely want to get all your opinions to factor into what we thought the game really weighed out for our players in this 2-1 victory that has us sitting atop of the league. So let's get into this. If you're ready, let's do this. All right. So I think we're going to have to start off, as always, we start off with the keeper, Mr. Kelleher, who really didn't have much to do in this game, by the way. The stat that I showed, he only made one save. Obviously, he did let up a goal, but it was one-on-one with a striker that was is in form, didn't have much to see. But he didn't stop that one attempt. But all the same, distribution was okay. What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts on Kelleher? We'll start with Nolante. Now he's back. Nolante, what were your thoughts on Kelleher? What was your rating on Kelleher?
Yeah, Brian's countryman. Kelleher. Yeah, I think he had a pretty solid game. To be fair, again, just to reiterate what you said, didn't do much. What I like with Kelleher as a goalkeeper, regardless, he doesn't fuss about the ball. He keeps it simple. Whether it's long or short, he don't fuss. He doesn't over compensate it like certain other goalkeepers. Yeah, I think the one save is comfortable. Yeah, he's fine for me. So, and that I can't really give him a high rating. Yeah. 100% red. Pick up. Yeah, crosses with the ball.
Yeah, he came out and
there was one
couple that he came out and stopped.
Couple of punches. Yeah. He's very so. Then we've kicked him and stuff. Not like Kelleher. I know Slot wants us to pass from the back, but sometimes Kelleher, he does some good long balls that do it long. He mixes it up, which is good. So he didn't really have much to do. So I can't give him, but he's very solid. So I'll say about 73 for me.
Okay. Yeah. Irishman, how about for you? For your countryman? I don't know if that puts any extra
probably does for Brian. That's an extra 10.
No, he's from Cork, so that's a -5. To be honest with you.
Oh, bro, that's harsh.
So, not his best game. A couple of times at the end, he could have come out. Could have cost us an equaliser by not coming out. I thought towards the end there at once.
Yeah.
Needed to be a bit more confident there. If that had gone in, we're talking about a different score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not great distribution-wise. Something not quite. Yeah, I think maybe he was maybe a bit nervous yesterday. I don't know. Maybe a bit unsure of himself.
After making those comments too, I mean, it's been questioned.
Well, I know, but just on the, I don't know, but maybe like it's all well and good. Like I say, it's talk is talk. Maybe I don't know why it would get to him. Hey, look, I said nervous. He didn't say nervous, so I can't imagine that he was. But yeah, he seemed not quite at it. You can sometimes if your first touch isn't the best, and like someone said, first shot beats him.
Mm-hmm.
So I give him a 60. I give him 60.
60. Okay. Wow. Okay. Shows that definitely some tough love. Just to be fair with Kelleher, he gathered up a few little crosses and efforts thereafter, and his kicking was good throughout. He thinks. Okay. Knockers gave him a 70 because I 60. I think that's the lowest score I saw. I did see a 61. I think it was from Trap.
Oh, Joe. Bernie gave him quite a low score.
And Bernie gave him a 65.
65. Yeah.
75. But there were a bunch of 70s, 73. I had him at a 70 originally. I think that's
Vega. Oh, your man who came on for them, is he a punchable? Apparently he's a punchable guy. I can't remember. He had a bit of has he got like a crazy haircut or something?
Yeah, he's got like an afro kind of his hair's up in the air kind of thing. He's tall though. He's about must be 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, again, I don't know if
Renato, that guy's a punk. Cedric 75. Okay. Red Armchair 75. Bonker 70. I think 70s. I mean, you guys gave him 60s, 65.
Cedric.
Yeah, there was like mid 70s, obviously a couple low
72, 60s. I think, to be fair.
72?
Yeah.
You gave him a 60.
Okay.
I know, 60. But
you're willing to give him a 75. Now that sounds like a little Irish bias, but okay.
No, I'm just saying there's a lot of 75.
Yeah, but the 70s are coming in the core now.
Yeah,
60s. Yeah.
How about okay? There's a 71.
That's fine.
I'll split the difference.
I'm definitely not.
How about for Robbo? What do you say? Yeah. There's a big difference between Cork and Dublin, I guess. Yes, that's what Hyler's saying. I don't think that Brian.
No, he's asking, is there a big?
Oh, is there a big difference between Cork and Dublin? Oh,
well, I don't live in Dublin. I'm not from Dublin. But my county, as it were, neighbours, like we border Cork.
Mm-hmm.
So Dublin is a little bit further up, but
yeah, it's a little easier to talk on.
Yeah, I'm in Waterford, so I'm not in Dublin. But no, it's just it's all jokes, but it's not really jokes. As Jimmy knows, it's not really jokes.
Robbo is the next candidate up for debate, and we'll start with Irishman. We'll go with you first, then we'll go to Nolante.
Oh yeah. I don't think he had a brilliant game either, to be honest with you.
Really? What was wrong with Robbo's game?
No, I just don't think he had a brilliant game. I thought he had a kind of.
I wouldn't say brilliant. I wouldn't go.
Yeah, solid game.
Solid game, but not brilliant.
Yeah. Oh crap! Kind of hard to give him like a big. What did I give the other guy? I'll just give Robbo 65. Because I thought he was like your man gave him a few, like nothing came of it. You know, it's easy to say Madueke gave him problems, and he did give him problems.
Mm-hmm.
But he dealt with it, and we kind of, as a team, we dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just a normal average game, 65.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 58, 69 from KJ. Pause. And then 75 from Lee. Okay. Kind of all over the place. A little 70s, 60s, 50s, 63 from Red Armchair. Okay. How about for you, Nolante?
Robbo, yeah, I mean, I kind of echo with what Brian said. I mean, the first half, he was struggling with Madueke on the wing. He wasn't as attacking, but maybe again the defensive structure. He was a little bit not great. Second half, he was better. He was better, but kind of quietish. I mean, again, we didn't have much, so he was kind of better in his defensive details. But what I would say is, I mean, I know I've mentioned before about Southern PVD needing a rest. He badly needs a rest. I think
the full 90
non-stop for Scotland. He needs to rest. So whether Tsimikas is back or Gomez for the next game, even against Arsenal, I've got no problem with either two of them coming in. And
really?
It's but I'm coming. We forget Gomez is
surely Simi's got to play Leipzig.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah.
Oh, against Leipzig, yes. I'd play Tsimikas against Leipzig. Not against
Give Robbo a night off, man. Give Robbo the whole.
Yeah, he exactly, bro. He badly needs a rest, and again. I mean, look, and if he has it, and if and again, depending on his fitness, I'm sure he played against Arsenal. I wouldn't have a problem with Gomez playing left back against Arsenal. I wouldn't. But again, rating wise,
I'm interested to hear what you have to say. What are you going to do, Robbo?
God, this is a bit of a icky one. I'm thinking 6. You know what? We won the game. Just a standard 70. Second half is a bit better.
Yeah, I'm just asking because there's been a lot of different ratings in the chat here so far. I mean,
he's not doing brilliantly, really, in the chat. He's not really, because our chat is usually very generous with the numbers. So he's not doing brilliant. Like these are low scores for the chat.
Yeah, there's some scores like
Agree with
Max,
60s, 50s.
63, yeah, 63 from Red Armchair, Jimmy, 63, 55 from Bonkers, 65 from Mukama. Big up, Mukama.
big up.
And
Elia, I agree with you on that part about Robo. I agree with that. The whole with the game. Yeah, I agree with that. You just echoed my thoughts. So Elia, big up.
yeah, he had a huge. It wasn't. He did have a huge late block. A Heiler game was 68. Okay.
Yeah.
I had him at a 70, but
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
By the scores, is that fair? I'm trying to.
Looks like
I think you and me are like had
the only people getting the
scores. Yeah, we're the highest scores.
Everything else is in the 60s.
Yeah, so he's gonna go. Yeah, so 60s really.
Wow,
yeah.
Labo, my status brother. My status brother.
I think 67 would be the max.
67
really.
would be nice.
Yeah, about 66.
Yeah, let's give him a 66 for his right side.
Can't give him Trent's number. Give him 65.
60. Oh yeah, no. Now I'm giving 60. If it's like that,
no, Brian. Old fan, lovely.
Standards right there. All right, I'll give him 67. How about that? Let's go on to our captain, Virgil van Dijk. What was our captain's? He didn't really have to do much. Some people have tried to put the blame on him for not keeping the back line better assembled for that goal. Also,
what?
Yes.
What? Are they serious?
Yeah.
Are they crazy? It's Kanati's fault. He had the line fine. Kanati made a mistake.
I don't know why Kanati had his legs stuck out like that. To be honest,
yeah, that was an error. Yeah, sorry, you would have been offside.
But they were saying that they're basically saying that because he kind of went forward.
Who are they now? Who are they? Name names.
Exactly, Brian. I'm gonna put
it was on like
one of those like
judge. It was on one of those like match day review shows. It wasn't on a broadcast channel, not a content creator.
Oh, okay. Well, their opinion, man. But they've forgotten this.
It might have been on the one with Rafa was on. I don't know if Rafa was the one who said it, but I think it was on that one. I want to say I watched.
Was it Match of the Day? Okay,
yeah, I think it was on one of those where he was saying that basically
on Match of the Day.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was Match of the Day. I watched it. Rafa was on there. I don't think he mentioned anything about VVD. Okay, yeah.
It was one of those like after show reviews. Yeah, it was like a broadcast channel that gave it. And basically they were saying that he was leaning towards.
Sure, it wasn't Ronald Koeman.
maybe
Probably Van Basten.
Maybe it was. He said that he said that he went in to. It looked like he was going in to possibly try to cut off and try to maybe intercept the pass or something along his lines. But then like that left Ibu kind of like in no man's land where Ibu looked like he was going to then try to do the recovery, but when he saw Van Dijk go forward, he kind of like got stuck in between two decisions. That was just what they were saying. I don't agree with it. That's not my assessment. I think, that one was just on Ibu. But again, looks like we got some 80s in the chat. Look, everyone, I don't think saw whoever it was that gave that assessment. I don't think anyone was seeing it that way. He's getting a lot of 80s. 80, 85, 80, 85, 80. Yeah. It's just one. KJ doesn't blame either of them. Okay. 85. What was your rating for Trent? 81. Yeah, there's a lot of it. He's getting the 80s. What was your rating for Trent yesterday, Brian?
Virgil.
I think, or did we go first last time? I'm sorry. Lalante, what was your rating for Verge yesterday?
Big Verge in the building. Man, that Big Verge. Captain, what did he say? Yeah. And What did I say? I want to repeat this every time he has a good game. Remember that cup final last season? You thought I
Mhm.
was done? You thought I
Yeah,
was
there you go.
done? What? You
There
thought
you
the
go.
big dog? He's the big dog. He runs the Premiership. He's like the prison officer. He runs the yard. He's the man with the keys. You got the Salibas, these little coming up to the king, but he's a big dog. He is the prison officer. Man,
Mhm.
like big birds. But yeah, listen, again, we didn't do, but everything then solid. Virgil, when he came against him, he had them on lock. I mean, Virgil just done Virgil things, really. That's all I've got to
Right,
say.
right, right.
The big dog. So what I'll give him, because he was solid completely. One, well, can't, well, again, you might actually, can you bring up the stats for Virgil, please?
Sure, sure.
For
Virgil's
the
stats
first time, I
overall.
want your Statman 12. Give me the
Yeah,
stats, please.
yeah.
First thing
90
I like
minutes
is
played, obviously, 4 clearances, 1 interception, 1 tackle, 70 touches, 86% for his passing, 3 out of 9 for his long balls, but was 1 for 1 for ground duels, 1 for 1 for aerial duels, and had a shot off target too.
Hey, that's an extra 10 points for me for the shot off target, but anyway. But yeah, big Perch, man. Yeah, I think one thing people don't understand about Perch is underrated passing. He does these little, what I've noticed about him, he does these little balls to start off attacks
Mm-hmm.
as well. If you notice, to the feet with to grab or whoever, he does that. And I saw that yesterday. Very, very underrated if you watch him closely. But Big Fergie's up there as one of my man in the matches potentially. Oof.
The aura is back.
86. 86 for Big
Okay.
Fergie. Yeah.
All right. Brian, what was your score for Verge?
well, I can't give him the intro. Nolante
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Again, it's an under the radar job with Virgil. It usually is now.
Yeah.
Because you just become so used to it. Like if you took him out and put a bad player in there, and when I say a bad player, I don't mean like me. I mean someone in the Premier League, like who's just but still bad,
Mm-hmm.
like a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see how good he is. When you see him doing this week in, week out, week in, week out, it's like the wallpaper on the wall at home. You just get used to it. You just, he's just so good. He starts off usually, you know, probably going to end up on a 75 most games and either goes up or down from there. So it's just continued every single week. So I can't really say anything really. Like the game has changed for him. His passing, like Nolante said, it's I think it's just his calmness on the ball that infects that basically helps the other guys around him when he's on the ball. It's probably even a little eye movement, a little hand gesture, something, just telling people, no, not now. Next time we're going to go around once more. Then you're going to get it. You just move. But you can tell how calm he is. He probably keeps everyone around him settled. So I'd imagine that passing lane from him to Gravenberch is going to be something they're going to get a lot of joy out of.
Mm-hmm.
Because him to Gravenberch is from his side to Grav's side, straight into Grav. He's going to give it to him exactly where he needs it, like JK said. Or, sorry, like Nolante said.
Mm-hmm.
His passing of the ball just over 8-10 yards. It's really precise, really quick. It's where it's supposed to be. He never puts somebody in trouble with a pass. Like, how many times can a defender, like, that's like what a midfielder does. He doesn't give people hospital passes.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't give people passes where it's like, oh, someone's in. He doesn't. His, whatever you can call it, like mistakes leading to big chances, is probably freaking 0.01 or something. So it is. It's great. So, typical Verge. What's a typical Verge? No clean sheet, so you can't have that. 78.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad that you gave him a 78, to be honest with you. Or no, because now at least you're one of the, because now at least you're one of the people in the 70s. I would have given him like an 85 or something like that if we gotten the clean sheet, but I gave him I originally gave him a, oops, let me get back to it, 75, but definitely we got to bump that up because there's way too many 80s and 85s out there. Let's do 84. 84. Ibu. Ibu is going to be this going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one. Ibu has been playing exceptional, extremely exceptional, and it sometimes in a, got a yellow card. It was a good yellow card though. It was a professional foul style yellow card. Had 2 clearances, 1 tackle, was drilled past once, but 46 touches, 90% for his passing. I will admit this: Ibu's passing has stepped up. By the way, Ibu's passing has stepped up immensely. Not saying it was like terrible or something like that. Just saying that it has stepped up to another level this year. Was 1 for 3 for his ground duels, 0 for 1 for aerial duels. Obviously gave away the foul for the yellow card, and those are pretty much all of his stats. And most notably, he's seen as as the one that was the closest to that, or he's the one that put obviously Jackson on side for that goal. So, what was your rating for Ibu Nolante? Or no, excuse me, Irishman. So we went that way. What was your rating for it? Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I'd have to just tuck him in under Virgil,
Mm-hmm. Not taking too much off because of the mistake.
No, look, he left it. It's not his fault. His leg is 8 foot long,
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's the life of a keeper. I mean, that's the one. Like, it's like, oh, he made a mistake. It's like, what mistake did he make? By being a foot, too far over the line.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a keeper, like the boys say. You're out for a couple of games, you come back in, and it's fine. You're a defender. You can get plenty of touches on the ball or right back or midfield, but you can get to make a few mistakes. But as a keeper, you make a mistake, that can be a goal. With a defender, you can make a mistake. We see what we see. So I think other than that, he's just been the same Ibu as he has been all season. Probably not as I know you can bring up his stats if you want.
No, I just gave him.
Ibu? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ibu's. Oh, I was doing something. I probably had to mute you.
Oh, yeah. His stats weren't really that other than his passing, his stats were pretty much pedestrian, I guess. 1 out of 3 for his ground duels and 0 for 1 for aerial duels. Most notably stood out for me, as normally he's spot on with his aerial duels. He only had 1 though to contest, and he didn't win it. But
yeah, what did I say? 70. What did I say? 70. 70. 70. Give me 70.
Okay. 70. Locked in 70. Nolante, what was your rating for Konate?
Ibu, yeah, I think he started okay. 1 or 2 times in the first half, he let Jackson go, but he, a couple of times, but it didn't amount to nothing. And then, yeah, the goal, he knows the drill. He's been there long enough, man. He should have come up with Verge, Trent, Robbo. He made, it's a bit of a mistake for him for that. That's in my opinion. And after that, he made some good blocks, man. He made some good, tackles, Ibu tackles, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's good. He's good though. I mean, yeah, apart from 1 or 2 things, and yeah, he's pretty solid. So I'll give Virgil 86. I mean, for mistakes, 79. 79 for me.
Okay. Big up pops in the house. I gave Verge. I saw a lot of different. I mean, at first everyone was being extremely nice with the ratings for Ibu. They started to dip a little bit towards the middle, maybe after they heard some of the stats or something. But I originally had him at a 68, but I'll bump it up. I would have had him at like a 75 or something like that, maybe 78. Otherwise, but the goal, and because he was the direct result of the goal, maybe grade him a little harshly. But Let's
Well,
go.
Pops is in there with a bit of the old VVD blame laid on, so
See,
maybe that's who you were watching. Maybe that's
maybe I was. Maybe that's what I was watching. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. I take Pops. I take Pops word and assessment just as much, if not more so, than the broadcast pundits.
And Stevie Nickel, anyway.
Yeah, I already gave Stevie a shout. I said,
Stevie.
I already said, hey, what's up with Trent now? How you like me now, baller? Anyway,
hey, look, if they ever lose Shaka Hislop and they need someone to keep that kind of that Caribbean vibe going on in the studio, Pops in there.
Yeah,
Pops in there.
Favor,
Keep that same
get the
vibe.
wings in. Come on, Pops.
He gets my show. He definitely gets my show. So Trent Alexander-Arnold's up next. I wanted to bring up this stat. It was pretty interesting, and this is what I want at Steve Nichols about, basically. And that's this. Yesterday, he had the most clearances in the game at 4. He was 4 for 4 for tackles won, 5 out of 7 for his ground duels, had 10 defensive actions, had the most defensive actions out of any player, and had 0 fouls. He had more tackles, blocks, clearances, recoveries, and duels won than his counterpart, Reece James, as well.
Is that supposed to be Trent?
Yeah, that's a cartoon, obviously. It's not him.
That is pretty weak, isn't it?
Hey.
That's really not a great likeness at all of that one, man.
Hey. I mean, like,
that is I
didn't draw it, so
oh, I know. Just whoever stat user using it, get a better artist. That is pretty shitty.
I know that I did.
Doesn't
like I said, I want
man.
Yeah, I wanted Steve Nickel for his assessment of his defense. I actually did go. I was watching the Copish review of they do their match day reactions as well right after they do their reviews. I don't know. I called him out for it too. I don't know what game Jamie was watching, by the way. I know that he was very, very critical of Trent, calling him out. He didn't think he had a good game where it comes to defensively.
I thought you were talking about professionals for a second. You mean Jamie? Okay, right.
Yeah. But I didn't. I'm just noting that just because I know that maybe some people are gonna maybe hold me accountable for some of my chat comments, and I know I did say that in the comment section of Coppish comment section that got a little bit of a draw from some of the people, but it did start somewhat of a tsunami of comments back at him because he was talking about how he didn't think Trent had a good game defensively, how he got done up by a couple different circumstances on the pitch, and he wasn't doing this, he wasn't doing that, and because he didn't offer anything offensively, and I was just like, all right, man, I guess we watched a different game. I think that Trent had a phenomenal game, defensively at least, considering that everyone wants to continuously talk about how this young man cannot play defense, and most notably, I think isn't Mr. Keane from Cork too, right? Is he from Cork?
He's Cork, isn't he? Cork boy.
Roy. Oh, sorry, Mr. Keane. Roy. I was thinking which YouTuber was called Mr. fucking Keane.
I'm being polite. I'm being polite.
No, so you were talking about Jamie, then you went to Keno. Yeah, he's He's from a pretty tough. Well, you won't be surprised here. Pretty tough part of Cork.
Pretty tough part of town.
Not the stuff you see on the Zubamendi stuff.
I got him. He's not looking at mountains like that. Okay.
Oh no, mountains are something, but not
Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole different story. But all the same, again, it's the narratives, the agendas. Sometimes I think that I think Trent has considerably put an effort to back up his statement that he's going to be looking at improving on his defense, bringing more attention and focus to it. This definitely was one of those games. What was your rating for Trent, Nalante? What was your rating for Trent?
Before going to Trent, Pops is saying VVD. No, Pops, you got to watch the game again, my friends. No, 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 no. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, Pops.
No.
VVD, as you can see, he has the line perfectly positioned. They know the drill. They know the routine. Kanate just doesn't fall in line. That's all it is. So Kanate should have done better. But anyway,
I
anyhow,
think Nalante just put Pops in the microwave. It sounded like you just hit cook there, you know?
Yeah.
I'm
Really.
like, Pops really
Pops is on there, we're all out for that.
He was
Clear
talking about
Pops.
someone earlier on that was slagging off EVD, and he couldn't remember who he was watching. So I was just joking. I said it might have been you, but no, like you said, Pops was saying it's just a thing that happened, not a blame thing. And definitely, it's like you say, yeah, you can't blame. Like one little thing happens in a game, yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
You know, they just
But,
play
you know,
someone on side by a
I
tiny bit.
yeah.
That's what happens.
I
Like if he does that 8 times in a game and he plays
It
someone
works.
onside 8, you're like,
It
oh, come
works.
on, guys. Yeah,
and that was a higher
really-
up line. I understand that, but I mean,
This
like,
is inches.
I just
and stuff.
say that,
yeah,
like,
we're nitpicking it. We're nitpicking.
Curtis Jones, like the Curtis Jones one was kind of like they were mentioning how the I forget which player it was for Chelsea, but he actually tried to push up, and by pushing up, it kind of took him out of being.
Oh, they were trying to play Nunes or offside. Yeah. They were saying they all basically pushed up to play Nunes offside, and so he just kind of hung back, and Jonesy just ran past the whole lot of them. It's brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I get you could say that's the only reason. That's the reason why I'm saying I get you could say it's not his fault, but if he's with what I'm looking at, it's I think very similar to what Nalante is looking at it as. If he's listening to his captain trying to hold that line, he's not offsides. I understand it. I don't. I think.
Oh yeah, no. You can say like you can bring it down to what happened and what went wrong. And you go, oh well, that was the guy who played him offside or onside. So yeah, but it's just like I'm saying, hey, look, if he only does that once every 3 games, I'm cool. We're good. He's gonna do it every. He's not a robot.
Mhm.
But yeah, you can say it was his mistake. Yes, definitely, 100%. But like Pops is saying, I don't know. Pops is also saying that I'm not actually sure what Pops said. Something about VVD push. I don't want to misquote Pops, so I'm not sure exactly what he said. But no, this thing, like we say, we don't say it often enough. Football is a game of opinions, you know. A lot of times it's just opinions. And I still can't get over this graphic. I need to get this guy to draw pictures of players for the quiz because nobody's going to be able to get it. This is like even Bernie said he kind of looks like Jones but without the hair.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Like if you showed me that, who is this guy? I'd be like, I genuinely don't know who that is. If you said who's this, I'd be stumped. I would not be guessing Trent.
I feel you, Pops. We
move.
I got you. We move.
BBD got sucked to the ball just before the pass. Okay, yeah, that's what Pop said earlier. Yeah, that's what he said earlier.
Yeah.
Indeed we do, Pops. Indeed we do. All with love and respect.
Yeah. All right. Well then what are you rating him? Nalante, what are you giving Trent?
Trent, look, as I said before, me and 12, we had a little discussion before the start of the stream. Listen, man, all I've said about Trent, man, his defending really needs to fix up. And like I said, I'll get the little bit out of the way. And it's one game. It is one game. He has been good defensively in some other games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but this game, this is what I want to see Trent to do. He was on point. He pocketed Sancho, listen, man, I was a little bit worried because Chelsea were on form. Let's not forget, people. Although the rivals and pundits would like to dismiss saying, it's all right, actually, I'll get into that later. But what I'll just say is they're saying, Chelsea, the firepower. Sancho, he's doing tilly toes. And then, best we saw from Sancho was milking it when Trent called him. Yeah, he called him and he milked that little fading injury. And that was it, man. He pocketed Neto for most of the game. That was a very disciplined performance from Trent. Minus, what he usually does. I was very impressed. And yes, in the final 10 minutes or so, he let Neto get past him once or twice across the board. But again, tiredness, so I'm not going to blame him. But good game, man. So More like that trend. I want to see more of that. So if I'm looking at it, I'll say about 80 for me. 80 for Trent.
Well done. Well done. How about for you, Irishman?
Yeah, part of the system now, which I like. I really like that.
Mhm.
People used to quote me up a lot back in the day because I came at one time and I just said, uh, about Bobby being the system, and I said something similar about Trent, like, oh, as Brian always said, Trent is the system. I was kind of starting to regret that after a while, this
Mhm.
idea.
Mhm.
And the other thing when he's saying here is that he used to say like Trent is a problem and he's a solution. And that was kind of cool. It's kind of like the Darwin chaos thing. It's like I was like, yeah, but what the fuck does that actually really mean? It's like, yeah, he's really good, but he causes an issue too, because we're trying to create this thing that's built around him.
Mhm.
And with the newer version of it, the older one was just him being a great right back, attacking right back with Jordan Henderson mopping up. Cool, no
Mhm.
problem. Um, then this whole let's turn him into whatever we're trying to turn him into
Mhm. Mhm.
didn't quite land that. We never landed that. We tried it. We never quite landed it. We never got to the point where have you seen Trent for the last 3 games controlling a game like Pirlo and playing right back? Wow, what a footballer. Guess what? That's not really that easy to do. Now we've got him in a position where if he wasn't playing tomorrow, we would only need to replace him with a right back who plays in our system, not a guy who our system is completely built around. So he's I like the way that he's handling that. He's doing really well. He's shown like you said, he said a while ago about wanting to be the best at defending or something like that. That quote was
Mhm.
him wanting to be
Mhm.
known for his defending as much as anything else.
Right.
I think he might be with a coach that can enable him to do that. You look, those are the stats of a really, really good right back yesterday. It's not the stats of it. Wow, Trent type there. That's just the stats of a guy who is a really good right back. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm happy with that because yeah, Bradley not being there yesterday. But so how do you rate that? It's not the Trent of old. It's a slightly different version of Trent. Give him. I can't remember what people give him. I'll give him a 72.
Okay. Okay. Delante?
I think that's about what people. Nelante, you gave him a rating already.
Yeah, I've given already. Exactly,
Just make
Barry.
sure.
Yeah, I gave
You
him
said, you
oh,
said
80,
yeah, my fault.
80.
80.
80,
80.
80.
Just an 80. Yeah.
Trying to get this real quick. Get this link sent out real quick. Hold on a second. I saw what was. Can you, Ryan?
It's
Can you go remind me of some of the scores in the ratings? I gave him a 76. Whoops.
no. I gave him a 72. Nelante gave him 80. I didn't see a lot of scores. That's why I was. There weren't a huge amount of scores in the chat for Trent.
I
So if you
saw
want to put him
the
in,
highest. I did see a 90 in there.
yeah, there wasn't a lot though. So if you want to put him in again, guys, Trent, I'm gonna quickly. Oh, hang on, wait. Trent's 78, Trent's 79, Trent's 73, and that was it. That's it.
Okay.
So that's not many ratings. That's 76 at average, 79, 78, 73. Call that 76. Average from those three. I had a 72.
We might have a guest.
85 from
A
Bernie.
guest joining us shortly here.
Cool. 85 from Bernie.
Yeah, KJ said
It's
79.
kind of mid. Do you have? Oh, if you have 76, that's around. That's around where it is. That's a
Is that
good
right,
score.
Ron?
That's a good score. Yeah, that's a good score.
I like how. So I like when I get them close. At least I get them close. This is,
No one's going to argue with that. You
I
got
got
lots
the
of
pulse. I got the pulse of the champ. So let's get into Grabba Gravy. There you go. Ryan Gravenberg. What was
from milky to gravy?
From milky to gravy, exactly.
I mean, it doesn't sound that nice when I say it out loud now, actually. But
yeah. You might want to hold off on using that term too often.
The more I think about that, the less appealing it gets.
How about for Gravenberg? What was your score for Ryan?
Who's up first?
You're up first because I think Nolante is dealing with something right now. He's on mute.
We can do. I think we can do a patented K Max stat pack.
Okay. You want a stat pack on Gravenberg?
Hit
Ryan
me with
was
Hit me with a stat.
48 touches,
No, we don't
not
care.
87% passing. 0 out of 2 for his long balls, 2 out of 5 for ground duels, 2 out of 2 for aerial duels. I really don't give out the possession loss too often. I don't know. That is a number out there if I get it. The 8 losses first possession, but 3 foul. He committed 3 fouls, but was fouled once, 3 clearances, and had 1 tackle. Those were his numbers. I think he grew into the game, by the way. I didn't think he was phenomenal in the first half, but he definitely grew into the game. They were trying to limit what Gravenberg could do.
Wait. Can you just editorial point? Have you just said that you've omitted the balls lost stat because you don't like it?
No, I didn't say that. I don't always put it out there because everyone loses. That number is always with everyone. It's rarely, if you play the game, it's rarely where it's 0. But
yeah, of course, but it's good as well. I like that number. I
Okay.
want to hear that number. If you give me stats, I want to hear that number.
Okay.
I don't make up my mind.
I'm sure to put it in there.
Yeah.
I don't think I put it in last. I mean, I don't think I put it in for
No.
Virgil and Ibu. I don't think I said it for them. That's why I was saying.
Yeah. No, he had a very
being transparent. That's what I'm trying to do. Be the best transparent.
Oh yeah, so put it out there. That'd be totally transparent. Let me see. Yeah, you got some
70s, a lot of 70s.
85. 85, 75, 80. I don't know. I'd probably just say, was he at his absolute best? Man, I don't know. That's a tough one, actually. Yeah, I like Jimmy's. I'll go with the 72. Oh, and Bernie went 73. So yeah, I'll go with the lads. 72.
Okay. Nolante, you with us? Maybe not. Maybe. Yes. Got.
Yeah. I echo what Bryce said and echo what you said, 12. I think I agree with both your points regarding Grav. Like you said, he slowly came to the game 12. I really echo what you said. And Brian, the way Grav played, it was his it was his worst game of the season. Or when I mean worse, not his. Okay, let me rephrase that because that sounds bad. He had a stinker. It was not his usual standard, but he wasn't bad. If that makes sense.
I know that sounded. He sounded like who is that? Hemingway it was the best of days. It was the worst of days, or something like.
Yeah. The first half he did.
I might be quoting that wrong.
Yeah. Exactly, Brian.
I hope it's Hemingway. Yeah.
No, it's times, best of times, not that you were close. You were close.
Yeah, exactly, Brian. I like that, a little bit of teamwork there from both of you. I like that.
I think that's from For Whom the Bell Tolls.
From Whom the Bell Tolls, yeah.
Whom the Bell Tolls, yeah. I think so. That's true.
Cultured people, we are cultured in this.
That's the Spanish Civil War.
Indeed, in the 19th something, but yeah.
Hemingway's a Madrid fan, so fuck him.
I'm glad to see that people aren't really doing the.
Oh, it's Tale of Two Cities. Yeah, it is. Of course it is.
Tale of Two Cities.
Of course it is. Yeah, of course it is.
Nice, Lee. See, we are cultured in this channel. Love it, Lee. Thank you.
The first line. It's literally the first line, actually. Yeah, it's the first line.
Yeah, there you go. And it's a Metallica song too. There you go.
What is
the
best of times, worst of times?
I guess that's what Red Armchair is saying. It might be in the Metallica song. I don't know. Anyway, we move.
Marion's back.
Let's get back
Marion's
to
back
this
from the
before
shop.
we get into like literary references. And
No, yeah, no. Marion's back from the shop, so just say hello again to Marion.
no, okay. I'm glad to see that people aren't going like, because I know that there was a time and place where Grav was just getting crazy scores, even when he had good games, but he was getting like exceptional scores. But they've seemed to somewhat be a little bit measured this time, which is good. I like to see it. It shows that we have that we are honest raters of the game here. What was your rating for Grav?
Yeah, so Grav for me would be a 77.
77.
77, yeah. He first half Chelsea were bypassing us for the first 25 minutes and he struggled along with Jones, and then at times he was isolated at times,
Yeah.
and it was a good battle with him and Concedo and Lavia. Vincent Concedo, he was a good Georgia, but like you both said, he improved second half and he done his usual turn and he controlled the midfield a bit more, much more as he does. So yeah,
he was being held back as sometimes a sole six, as opposed
this
to
is it.
And
This
Curtis
is it.
forward,
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting. Obviously, Dom is playing that 10 role, so he's going to be up forward anyway. But
that's why I can't wait till we get to rate him. Is our special guest Dakota waiting just to come in until we rate Dom? Go nuclear on his ass.
Oh,
you don't like my pretty boys.
Trust. Dom. I got your back, brother. I got your back. Trust me. I got
Dom.
For Dom.
Oh, you were great, Dom. Don't worry about it. You're fantastic.
70. I think 73 is legit. I think those they were like all in the 70s, 75, 73, 77, 79, somewhere out there. I think it's legit. How about for now, speaking of Mr. Sabasalai, I hope that our guest does join us, because our guest did have an opinion on this particular player. I know his counterpart definitely did not see it this way, or does not hold Dominic in much light. Shout out to Beijing Reds TV, by the way. They did a crossover with Flawless TV, and
nice.
Yeah, it was. They did I think it's they did like a Beijing takeover type show or something like that. He's with us, actually. He can speak on it himself. Let me bring him in.
Yeah, pops.
The doctor has made a visit.
The doctor is in the house.
Doctor's in the house.
Doctor wants to put some medicine on the table, yeah? All right. Pops, go for it.
Big up, Pops. How are you doing today?
Big up.
I'm cool. Y'all good?
Yeah. Good.
Right. All good, Pops. All good.
Yeah, I was saying how I know that you and Barnes had a little bit of a different opinion. I know that I was in the chat, so I know that something I said kind of correlated with what you were trying to get across on that broadcast, and it was pretty much this. I'll bring up this little quote here. It's saying how Dominic will be scrutinized for his decision making on the ball, but he locked up Cole Palmer yesterday. His work off the ball was crucial to our win. This is a quote that was on Twitter, and it was something that I looked at as saying, I agree. I know that Dominic doesn't get a lot of, he's doing a lot of the grunt work. He's doing a lot of the, it's almost as if Hendo was playing our number 10 role, is what we're basically seeing from Dominic currently. But you still got to give him credit for the fact that he is putting in the work. And obviously, if he wasn't doing the work the way that our coach, who is now only got one defeat in the start of his campaign, if he wasn't doing the work, chances are he would not be starting. So obviously, he is doing something right. He's doing something right that is still getting him the starts for our club. So,
but just two words quickly on that 12. Harvey Elliott. I said it the other day. The way his form has been, if Harvey Elliott had been 100% fit, I think he may have had some more minutes. That's all I'll say.
I think they would have been complementary to each other. I don't.
No, I just think Harvey would have
played. Like, what's wild is Dominic is one of our fastest.
Pure speculation.
Dominic is one of our fastest players on this team. No, you can't question that. Okay.
Yeah, no.
He's one of the fastest players on the team. He's obviously physically fit enough that he's not going to get bullied off of balls or off balls, but off of off of things, right? Or off of
Pops, you want to take over this now?
I know. But what I was going to get at is that what was interesting is Elliot ringlets. I love ringlets, all the same. I just don't know if ringlets has the defensive acumen that Dominic has in his game. I'm just saying that he definitely provides possibly more for us offensively, but I don't know if he provides the same level defensively, and certainly not pace-wise as well.
He's getting a lot of praise in his preseason role. But Pops, come in. Welcome in.
I don't, but I still think that both are phenomenal players, by the way. Ringlets and Dom. So allow for Pops to kind of go to make a continuation of what he was saying on the show yesterday and what he has to say on Dom today. And then also, please do give us a rating if you can.
Yeah. Dom was making it hard for me yesterday, in all honesty, because if you're watching the stream, you got Revenlate in the chat who's living on the hill where Bosley is garbage. And Dakota, the producer, has joined him on the hill, and Barnes, I think, has flown over to that hill as well. So, once that happens, it's up to me then to say, all right, not as bad as 12, but you have to look for some defense for our players. But Bosley made it very difficult yesterday because every time he did something good, literally the next thing he did was rubbish, literally. Yeah. So he'd make a good challenge, then he'd pass the ball away. He'd make a good run, and then he actually intercepted a ball in the middle of the park and then tried to flick it over somebody's head and lost possession, and the counter was on. I was like, Jesus, my man, as soon as you do something good, he trapped back and got a block in on a shot as well, which we credited Curtis for, obviously. Well, we've done Curtis already or not?
No.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just showing.
Generally, people were talking about how well Curtis played, and included the fact that he trapped back and blocked one. So Bosley did the same thing, and obviously, because of the hill, people are saying, well, you know, it's almost like let's just forget that part. But 12, you said it. He has that shirt, and without ringlets, no one else is taking it from him or has taken it from him as yet. So Mr. Locke clearly seems to think he's providing what he wants, and we're winning. So when you win, generally speaking, you don't change a winning team. So he continues to be part of the team. He wasn't good yesterday, though. He wasn't good for me. Like I said, I was trying hard, but he just kept doing things. I was like, come on, man. And you can see why. And again, depends on which hill you want to live on, how you'll build the case. So for the people who want to get rid of Bosley, are happy to see him do whatever, sit on the bench or whatever, they'll point all the errors. And for those who want to defend him or who think he's good, will say, well, look at this, this, and this. So in doing that, you can basically say, well, there's some on the left, there's some on the right, so I'll be in the middle, which is about 60%, I think, for you, right? 6 is average, 65 or whatever. I mean, some people might say no, he wasn't as good as average, but I'd give him about a 50, to be honest. Wow. But he isn't Harvey Elliott, and Harvey Elliott isn't him. So as much as people saying, well, if Harvey was fit, there'd be minutes, and yeah, there would be minutes because you need rotation, but Harvey can't do the Szoboszlai. He cannot do what Szoboszlai does. He doesn't have that build. He doesn't have the physicality. He doesn't have the lungs, that engine. So if Mr. Locke is asking somebody else to do what Szoboszlai does, I don't think there is anybody else. No, that's what I'm saying. So if that's the question is, can you do what Szoboszlai does? Then there is no one else in the team that can do that. So if Mr. Locke has plans for Harvey, then it means the system's going to be slightly different once he's playing.
I believe so.
In my opinion, guys.
It's not binary like that.
You know, I agree.
When this guy comes in, it's going to do exactly the same job.
You won't. Yeah.
Nope.
100%.
Yeah.
I just say, like, sorry, go ahead. You were finishing up on 65, you said, wasn't it?
No, it's kind of like whatever. like middle, whatever the middle is. So like my middle would be 50, 5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's
just-
I start on
barely
me.
there.
50 is par. For me, 50 is par.
Yeah.
Basically.
Right.
So if you do,
Maybe it was
if you do
below
better,
par
you
then.
go
Maybe,
down,
I
you
don't
go.
know. If you argue, depends on which way you
We
want
just
to look at it.
normally like the
But
the
that's
ratings
everyone.
tend
Somebody
to be
else's
like
par
towards
is
like
70. You know.
yeah, par is like
That's-
70.
Yeah,
See, it's
for
like
other-
it's like
okay,
more like the grading like this the school grading least here on this side of the pond. Like
just 1 to 10.
C
Just keep
would
it
be
simple.
average, which is 70.
Yeah,
80
exactly.
is a B, 90 is an A.
Getting
That kind of
complicated.
deal. That's why when you say 50, that's a failing grade. But I got you.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm not. We're not doing.
Understand,
Yeah,
understand.
I'm just doing 5 out of 10 basically. So
Yeah.
Okay. So 250s, Nolante.
oh no, I'm just saying that to me be 5 out of 10. That's what.
Oh, okay.
Pops is
okay.
giving Pops. I don't think Pops even settled on a number yet.
Whatever's the middle, like, to me, I'm okay with. So, like I said, I'd probably give him a 5 out of 10.
Middle be 65. I'd say middle is
65 sounds high, to
for
be
this
honest,
chat.
but I mean,
Yeah, but for this chat,
I'll work
65.
with
Yeah,
your
for
score.
this-
So
Yeah.
65.
That's
Just-
how it is. Yeah. Because we don't want because the chat's got
It's happy times.
Yeah, it's happy times. So
That's
chat's
cool.
got
65 then. 65. Yeah.
We understand, like yes, and it's the curve.
Oh, don't worry. I ain't
I'll
giving him
curve.
65. Don't worry, Pops. I ain't giving him 65.
Oh, okay.
Like the thing to me, it's like I like Slot because he's straight talking, and if you ask him a question, he'll give you an answer.
Mhm.
And he said a couple of weeks ago, he said, in response to the talk about Dominic Szoboszlai, and he said, as an attacking midfielder at a club like Liverpool, at the end of the season, you'll be judged on your numbers. You'll be judged
Right.
on your goals and assists. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So, you know, as an attacking mid, you're not a DM, you're not a heart. That's how you will be judged.
Mhm.
You know, that's the harsh reality of it. Like, you have to put in the work, yes. And I'm going to tell you, if I'm an attacking midfielder like Dominic Szoboszlai, and I'm seeing people writing articles praising my defensive output, I'm not liking that. I know I'm not producing, and people are going out to bat for me. People are going out to say, but he's doing this, he's doing that. You know, I know that's not what I'm here to do. That's part of what you do, but I'm also here to make a difference at the other end of the pitch. You know, they're brought in with specific, not get in, but like I like Slotbet. He said, look, if you play attacking midfield for Liverpool and you only get 4 goals, then you're going to have to improve that. You know, or whatever it was he got last year. He said, yeah, no, that's not good enough. You're going to have to do better than that. You're at a club like Liverpool. You know, at the end of the season, you'll be judged on that. Of course, you'll have done the hard work and hard yards you're expected to do and follow instructions, defensive instructions, but you'll have also been expected to make the difference. So, Szoboszlai is an unusual one for me because I'm not sure what it is that's needs to be unlocked with him. Does he need to score 2 and 2 and then he goes on a run? Does you know what is it that needs to happen? Because the player is in there. We saw it at Leipzig, we saw it at Hungary, and we've seen him do it against big teams in big international games against Hungary. So big, high pressure games. You know, not crappy little whatever. So we've seen him do it at a really high level. So whatever it is that needs to be unlocked in him, I'm all for giving it time to see. But the player is in there. And the player that we're seeing now is basically 60% of what he can do. So imagine this guy that can do all this work, but can also create and score goals. That's what we should have on our hands. And whatever it takes to unlock that, I'm not giving, like Marianne said, what Hill, I know it's become a bit of a meme in your guys' chat. It's that guy KV and Revenite and Dakota. Yeah, it's all on Dom. You know, it's blah, blah, blah. It's like get him out, sell him, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, like I said, the guy, to me, it's obvious the player he is. So I'm in no way giving up on him. No way. But as on yesterday's, I'd give him a straight 50. Yeah, straight 50.
Okay. Alante.
Dominic. We're outside Dominic. Oh, conversation has started, gentlemen. It's kind of, you know what? You see, the funny thing is the way the game yesterday, you would have thought Curtis Jones is the 10 and Dominic's the 8.
Yeah, that's a good
And
shout.
maybe
That's a
and
good
maybe
shout.
that's something they might have I mean, Slot might have to think about. I don't think he'll do it for now because it seems Dominic's just better deep. If I'm honest, as much as I don't think he should be in the team, but he's better than Curtis, who's doing more 10 things. To be honest.
That's a good shout. Just a real quick interjection. That's a good shout considering, like, we all know that Dom's got a boot on him. Like, we've seen some really, really. We had that worldly goal last year. From outside the box. Maybe have him sit back a little bit, allow for Curtis playing that 10 role, and then allow for him to maybe take on some of the.
I think Dom's a confidence player. I think it really is. I think to me this really can just come down to confidence with this guy. I really think if he scores one and then has a good game the next game, then he can kind of go on. That's all it can be with him is confidence. He needs those flicks to come off, the passes to come off.
They did position themselves more like having a 6 with virtual 2 8s, if not a 10 with an 8, as like Nolante's mentioning. And that's why, if that's obviously that's not what we're looking to do. We've been seeing our team play really well with this pivot structure, but I'm just thinking that's a good. I personally think that's a decent shout. Big up to Norm, by the way. Big up to Edward joining us as well. Good to see you guys in the chat.
Big up.
What was your rating for him? I got the ratings from I got all the ratings from the chat. What was your rating?
50 for me. 50
I got I know I just went in the look. Yeah, 50, 65. And what would you say?
I'll just finish up quickly, Toff. I know you want to move on quickly. I'll just say with Dom, the only thing is with him is again, the guys have just reiterated, the running, the pressing, great, and then he's good, the running power. But again, we need to start seeing them assist the final ball because it's going to be a certain game where we're off it, like the Forest game, and if he's nowhere to be seen, then he's been a bit lucky because Slot, for whatever reason, I know different positions, but to push Curtis up, he doesn't rate Endo and Harvey just coming back. So he's very lucky at the moment, but 60 for me. 60, standing 60.
Okay. I had him at reveal 72. You guys think I'm still trying to hang out with him probably with that rating, but
I'll tell you what, man, Tom's got some connections, guys. I'll tell you what, we don't know.
Invitation is open, Dom. He's keeping it open, but I'm sorry, man. We may be sending an Uber rather than a limo now at this stage.
There you go.
Down to an Uber.
Gotta be 60s. Him into that 64.
Gotta be 60s. There we go.
Yeah. Wasn't me, Dom. Wasn't me. But anyway, let's get into this.
This will be much more fun.
This will be much more fun to do. Definitely. There was also, he became a dad. Yes, the last couple of days, and big up to him for his daughter as well. And he also he became a father on Sunday too. I have pictures of Curtis and.
Oh, good Lord, that's weird.
His new baby.
That is.
Oh no.
That's even weirder than that.
No.
Oh man, Curtis, big up, brother. I had faith in you. I had definitely faith in you. There are some that were calling him out. There's some people that don't think that one of the scouts in our team is like worthy of the level of being.
Let's talk about the good stuff. Let's talk about the good stuff. Don't forget the trolls. We don't need to talk about trolls. We're here for a good time.
I know the trolls have suddenly disappeared. The ones that had all the venom for Curtis and how he couldn't play and he's this and he's that, all of a sudden disappeared.
Because I won one game.
You vent. Go ahead.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. But Curtis Jones. What is Curtis Jones rating for you? Let's start with Nolante, and then we'll go Irishman and go Pops real quick. Nolante, what did you have for Curtis yesterday?
Curtis, give me 2 secs, 12.
Okay.
2 seconds.
Irishman, then let's start with you, Irishman. What would you have for Curtis?
Well, he was sloppy on the ball. He was lazy in the pass. He didn't track his runners. You know what I mean? Got a fluky penalty. Jeez, you know, these Scousers, man. Jeez. Yeah. No, like an easy one. Just pretty much could be involved in everything that happened. And then also look, we're talking about Dom. Everybody's talking about how Curtis did his job. You know, forget the other stuff, how he did his job. Marking, you know, being part of the system. Like, this whole thing is about a system locking people down. You have its cogs, but the way this guy sets up is paramount to that. But Curtis Jones did his defensive work, but he also went and made a difference. Like that run, you know, that's a player who understands the game, who understands his teammates, who recognizes that that Chelsea team has made a mistake and acts on it. His first touch, pretty much, as soon like that first touch, if that goes wrong, but he said he doesn't try and finish it. He has the confidence to just kill it and then finish it. So yeah, he was pretty much. If that's not his best game for Liverpool, I don't know. If there was like if Norm was at some other game, that that has to be his best game for Liverpool, especially in the context of it and the fact that he was coming in to replace some. Like if Mac is 100% fit, you know, Curtis doesn't start that. Mac does, and he comes in, he dominates it pretty much. He dominates the headlines, he dominates the narrative, as people like to say. You know, he's involved in literally everything. So, you know, the same week he becomes a bit a daddy. Now he's got probably his best performance for Liverpool. So he's got to be walking around on air now. He's so fair play to him. And hopefully he takes this. I'm assuming he might get a start against Leipzig now because he's fit enough, so he can go into the next game and do it again. Keep going from here, and then you've got another problem on your hands. How do you get him in the team? Yeah. So Norm is saying that's the best he's seen Jones play, and he's seen pretty much every game in the last 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. I'm not going to age it, Norm, but you know, a lot of games. So
no, he did have Red Entrez Reporter was talking about the West. He was good in that West Ham game last year. He was okay. He was. I think he scored in that game too.
Yeah, no, I'll give him the man of the match. I'll give him a 90. Yeah, 90 man of the match. So yeah.
90s. Oh wow. Real quick, unless there's something, Nolante, did you want to give a shout as to him, or did you want to just give a rating?
Okay, I'll just be brief, just to echo Brian. No, Curtis, man, he had a good game, but what I will say, I'm not gonna. I mean, he'll be close, but he won't be my man of the match. What I would say is the first, I gotta be real. Okay. The first 25, 30 minutes, he was getting bypassed in that midfield defensively, and even Grav isolated in the defensive aspect. And when Chelsea, as a passion, were kind of breaking their lines, if I'm honest. But attacking wise, he was good. I mean, the penalty, which the second one, he really should be putting that away. He dilly-dally too long. I can't lie. And if it's 2-0, we won the game, we would have probably cruised, but that's fine. But what I will give him, second half he picked up. Defense, he made a great block from Palmer. He did lock him up. I would say just a couple of times again with Curtis, he got the goal, which was good. But again, if a better goalkeeper was on point, that he wouldn't have scored that, because the touch was a bit, but he scored, you know. And what I would say is with him, his touch sometimes, although he played well, sometimes his touch with the ball. There's one in the first half which, if he done a first time through ball to Salah, he was in. But again, Curtis, he just has to cut that out. But I mean, what can you say? I mean, apart from that, I just got to be asked the criticism. I just got to be honest. I mean, the assist, the goal, and you know, penalty shot. So 87 for me. 87.
Surprisingly high
Pops?
score after the criticism.
Yeah,
I know, but it's
we're
the
expecting that
assist and
number
goal,
to
so
get
I
high.
can't give him.
Yeah.
I can't give him 60 or 70.
Tough love,
So,
tough love,
but yeah,
tough love.
You miss
Yeah.
one. You miss one to. You miss one, Atlanta. Since you want to talk about holding the ball, when Salah was out wide and
Yeah.
Gakpo scored.
Mm,
If he plays that one
Mm.
earlier, it's buried. But
That's true,
for me,
Pops.
it
That's
was
another thing.
if you want to be harsh, that is, if you want to be harsh. But for me, it was a mature performance from CJ, and all the trolls shouldn't go and hide because it's just one game according to them. So they should still be out in force saying he's still rubbish. So he looks like a player that enjoys that. To be honest, he looks like the sort of player that says, "Yeah, keep calling me rubbish, and I'll just keep playing."
I'll just keep playing. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not rubbish, and he's not the best. I don't get it. I mean, our fan base sometimes can be very weird over players. But I think he had an exceptional game. He had, as to me, Cole Palmer was virtually anonymous.
Yeah.
And he did pretty much everything you needed him to do for the 70 minutes that he was on. And he is a shout for man of the match for me, comfortably.
Okay.
No, that's the thing, Pops. There is no middle ground. You're
it's weird. It's weird, lads.
It's
weird. Worthy. There's no middle ground.
Yeah, and if you're better than somebody, that means they're shit and you're the best.
Yeah,
apparently.
Yeah.
It's never marginal. It's never marginal. You know, it's like it's not that you're 99 and I'm 100. No. I'm 100 and you're 0.
That's how it was.
I'm not sure why.
On another broadcast, there was I commented about how, they were talking about Dominic and they were trying to like crap on Dominic's, trying to bring down Dominic to raise and then praise Harvey. I'm like, both of them are just exceptional players, as in they both have their own exceptional talents in the right, and they can both be good players without one having to be good and one having to be bad. That's all.
Yeah, that's a new thing that we seem to be doing.
Yeah, agreed.
YouTube wouldn't function if everyone thought like that.
Yeah, very true.
Everyone just sit there and go, okay, thanks, lads, and have a nice cup of tea and go home.
We have JK in the house with us too, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Pops.
No, big up JK. Big up
JK.
Let's Ryan.
So if you had a full house, did you want to say something quickly about Curtis and then give your rating? I don't know, Pops. Did you give a rating to, by the way? I don't think you did. What number did you want to talk?
Man of the match seem to be what, 90?
Yeah, 90.
All right, there you go.
Cool. A performance. Cool. A- performance. That's good. Still an A. JK.
Yeah, for me, I think Pop's not the nail on the head about Palmer. Like, he was non-existent in the whole game because Curtis had a mission to stop him. Like, you could just tell in the way he was sort of going around Palmer all the game, And on top of that, he got a goal. On top of that, he won a penalty. So for me, like, man of the match, 100%. I'm going to give him a 90 as well. I think he deserves that. Yeah, man. It's good to see Curtis stepping up into the game,
Yeah, definitely, certainly. By the way, in that league match, Curtis had 2 goals actually, and it was when we won 5-1 against West Ham. He had 2 goals in that game, just to bring back the memories for some. I know Norm was there, but that was definitely one of his better games as well. Let's see. So let's go with 86. Sound fair? There are a lot of 80s, a lot of like 90s. It's so far the highest rating out of all the players, I think, so far. So
yeah, I only need to know one thing: how many times did he give the ball away?
Yeah. There you go. I can give you that stat too, real quick.
I've already voted, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's irrelevant though, but still.
I said no. Tell me, how many times did he give the ball away?
Yeah, I'm gonna see.
I like this stat. I really like this. So fun. Yeah, because
on SofaScore he had like one of the highest ratings, so it probably wasn't that much.
But
he gave the ball away 6 times. That's not a lot, considering he had the ball 50. He had 56 touches. It was 90% for his passing, 2 key passes, 2 out of 3 for his long balls, 2 shots on target.
Depends where you do it.
But 6 out of 8 for his ground duels. Guy was putting in some. He was doing this. He was doing the work. He knew that. He knows that if he's the only way he's going to stay on the pitch is if he does the defense. You know, he does that defense.
Yep.
So let's move on to Salah, the king of Egypt. Let's bring it down to what we would like to score for him. JK, you're up first. What would you like to put as your rating for the Egyptian king?
I'm going to give him an 85 because he got us, he scored the penalty and the assist, beautiful. So he did his part of the job. You know, like every game, Salah does his job. It doesn't matter if he's running around beating 3-4 mans, but people want to see all the time. For me, he does the most important thing, score goals and get assists. So for me, 85, even though I want to give him a 90.
He's even tracking back. He was tracking back. A couple times he was tracking back too, man. Give him credit for that too.
He was running, bro. He did his, like, you could tell, like, even we didn't even mention Curtis's tackle. Do you remember when Salah was running after that guy in the midfield? Then Curtis comes along, does that slide tackle.
Yeah,
that was like Gerrard sort of style. I don't want to go overhyped with Curtis because it showed me a bit of his fight in him, you know. So it was good to see that tackle. But for me, Salah, I'm going to give him a 90 as well, bro. I think him and Jones won us that game yesterday.
Okay.
Yep.
Pops, what was your rating for Mr. Salah?
Well said, KJ. JK, sorry, well said. Ditto. Nothing else to say. Nothing else to say. No, that's it. No, that's it. Mo did more things. Yeah. He scores the penalty. The passing range is exceptional at times. That outside of the boot pass is artistic now. The other guys need to get involved, but I'll save that for the rest. So I'm staying with what JK said. I'm not 90 as well. Him and CJ were 90s for me.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Brian?
Lante?
Vernon Lante? Lante's on mute. But no, okay.
Brian wants to save his best for last.
He wants to save that for last, I guess. Yeah, there you go.
That's right enough. The Flying Irishman. There you go. Exactly.
Brian was sneezing.
It's all right, Brian. It's all right. We know we've got your 5-minute monologue, so that's fine. That's all right. Don't worry. It'll be on mute. Just give me about 60 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, Mo's my man of the match, man. Look, Slot said it best as a joke after all the time he said Mo was practically, we didn't need Trent because Mo was playing right back. And that was the you know what I mean? Mo, that was the Mo I want to see. The work rate was exceptional, man. His touch, his control, that was the Mo of old. And as Pops and JK nicely put his range of passing, let me tell you something about Mo. He's a better all-round player than he was in 2019. Just deep that. Deep that. He's a better all-round player. See the way Mane was for Liverpool, which people get slept on Mane about what he brought to the team. Salah is a better all-round player, and he's 32, man. He was. That is the Mo I want to see, man. That's the Mo that we need to see because he's going to be key in terms of where we go this season. So, man, what can I say, man? He's so bad that Chelsea had to change both left backs, isn't it? Right back, Vega, whoever, man. It's all the same, man. It's all the same. Caldwell, tossing, throw 3-man down Chelsea way. Might as well bring back John Terry, Carvalho. It would have made a difference yesterday. But yeah, man. My MOT 90. I'm done. Brian.
Okay. Ryan, you're up.
Well, I'll save you the 5-minute monologue. So you don't need to put me on mute. I'll only take 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. No, look. There's some weird stuff going around about Mo earlier on this year. Real weird takes. And I was always of the opinion that the play style was okay, that's one thing, but I'll take a player who might not be playing brilliantly, but he's putting in the numbers and he's still putting in numbers. It's 4 or 5 games later. Now he's got, you say it's a penalty, but he buries it, gets an assist. And like we said, if it's about how good he looks on the ball, okay, fine, he doesn't look amazing. But if you track his numbers over the course of this season and you say, what will he end up at the end of the season? So what he's on goals and assists wise now, you track that over the season, and that's unreasonable because that works with Mo. Mo does that every time he's been here. He stays fit, and his numbers track. Whatever he's doing now, he's more than likely going to continue to do, and he'll probably stay fit. He's on world-class numbers right now, goals and assists. So, okay, is he playing like prime Messi? No. But that assist, that penalty, I mean, I'm not going to say what more do you want. People say, oh, better play. But this guy is just output. I've said it before. I think this is his last season, but I think he said that I ain't going out with a whimper. I'm going out with a bang. I'm going to put down one of my best seasons here, and then I'm going to walk. But what I am here, I'm going to be relentless. So, to me, again, I think he's got to be, look, again, it's like the Virgil thing. It's most stuff. If he's a new player, if we bought him in the summer and he put up these numbers, he was a new guy. If this was a new Chiesa and he's coming in, I don't know, how many goals and assists does he have now? 10, 11 combined, something like that. This is a new player. People would be losing their minds. He's got to be 88, just behind Jones.
I'll bump Curtis's number up a bit. I'll bump Curtis to 89 or something. Yeah. So he's not behind him. I had an 84, but I can bump up to 86. Definitely didn't look bothered by stepping up and having to take it. Take the penalty kick. And
buried it.
Buried it. Absolutely buried it. I guess let's just go with a quick rating. I guess we could do a quick rating for Diego. You can just give me your scores. I don't really want to go too depth in with Diego because he really didn't get an opportunity to like do too much. Actually,
I'll give him a 65.
65. Okay. Delante, what would you give Diego?
Just starting at 55.
55. Okay. Pops, what would you have given Diego yesterday? In limited minutes, I only played 30 minutes. That's why it's kind of tough. But 30 minutes is 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'll go with Laszlo, 65.
Okay.
I'm just praying that those ribs aren't broken.
Oh, I know.
Yes,
I know.
exactly. That's what I was thinking. Pops was broken ribs or cracked ribs. It has to be.
Yeah.
It's not a knee. It's not a hamstring.
He left the knee in there. He left that knee in those ribs all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely ribs. The adrenaline wore off and the pain kicked in.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. He looked a bit like he was all right after the incident. Have you noticed he got done last time at Brentford when someone fell on top of him? Remember?
Yeah. He keeps getting
flashbacks.
He keeps getting crushed by
Yeah.
This guy keeps getting
the WWF or WWE.
Diego doesn't mind. He doesn't mind getting in the middle of things. He'll put his body in line for.
He goes into places. He does.
Yeah.
He does actually.
Yeah, he likes the physical part of the game.
Oh, he loves
what
it.
Was your,
so does Mac.
Yeah. So he does too.
I'll give him a 65, just because like for me, he got injured and that sort of ruined his game. Before that, he was just playing all right. He wasn't playing great, but I'll give him a 65. I hope he gets better.
Okay.
Where are you going with that?
All right.
62.
I saw 50s and 60s in the chat.
50s.
Yeah. Bonkers gave him a 50. Cody. How about for Cody yesterday? Cody had an okay game. Personally, I think. I mean, you'd be surprised if he, and I say okay, meaning like he held the ball, he protected the spot kick for him. I think that's probably the most notable thing that he did.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, one.
I'm going to take it. Yeah. Salah pretends to go and get a hot dog somewhere, and then Cody's holding on to the ball.
The commentators on my side of the pond thought that Cody was going to be taking the kick. Actually, originally
they still haven't figured that move out yet. No, They still haven't figured that out yet. Mo is taking the penalties, boy.
Yeah.
Mo is
Oh, you
taking
knew
it.
that. I knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one commentator thought it was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's like, Hack was about to like step up, and he had to like correct himself right in the middle because he did see him hand the ball off to Mo. But yeah, not 24 touches yesterday. 8 out of 11 for his passing for 73%. So like, had one key pass, but 3 out of 7 for ground duels. Lost the ball 5 times, 2 fouls. Was fouled once, offside once, drill pass once, tackled twice. 2 tackles. For someone that played, he played 66 minutes. Got a decent run in. I think we possibly saw what how can I put this? Cody and Lucho are both on exceptional form. But they both, from the weekend or from the past week, both played the same amount of minutes. I think that maybe he chose Cody because he didn't have to do all the traveling that Lucho did, but you could tell that Cody was a little bit knackered, a little bit, I guess you could say. If you think Robbo was a little bit sweating, I think Cody was a little bit disengaged, possibly because of his minutes used.
Look at 12, laying the foundation.
Laying the foundation, exactly. So maybe when you see my score, I won't have too many people go off on me. Pops, did you have a different score? What was your score? I'll show mine while you bring up yours too. What was your score?
Honestly, I think he was the worst player on the pitch yesterday.
Oh, damn. Sorry, Cody, if you're listening, dude.
Yeah,
it's nothing but love.
Nothing but love. Tough love.
Yeah. And maybe some of that is what I wanted to see and didn't get to see. But Reece James at right back and you're on the left side. Those hamstrings are just coming off the ice. Test them out. And he only had one real sprint against him. And you could see Reece James was grabbing and clutching. I said, you should be just running at him all game long.
Yeah. That's a great point.
He had one cut in and shot that was way over the top.
Yeah.
It wasn't happening for him, and to me, he didn't help Robbo out enough either, because Madueke was always going to give Robbo problems just because of sheer pace. Isn't that Robbo was bad? And I know people are going to say, Robbo was poor, because Madueke would run past everyone. Whoever you want to put at left back on our side, everyone, he's running past them. Probably not Darwin, but that's it. Everybody else, he's just leaving them for dead. So,
facts is facts.
You talk about Mo coming back and covering. I didn't see Cody doing enough covering for me.
Yeah, Cody wasn't doing the same. He wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't. And especially since we're talking about like how they're going to try to go at or possibly go at Robbo,
Yeah.
He wasn't doing him any justice by not helping out the way we saw Mo at least doing. So what was your score for him?
I think he'd be in and around Szoboszlai, so that's 50%. So 65 was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought it was like
so whatever you're like average. I thought he was just below average for me.
So like a 60.
So at 50, I'll go 50.
If you gave Dom a 65,
yeah, 60, then whatever. Yeah, below average for me.
Yeah, I got you. JK, what was your rating for Cody yesterday?
Just a basic 60, bro.
60. 60. Okay. Irishman?
I'll give him a 58. I don't think he's that guy that likes to isolate a full back and just dribble at him and take him on. Like Pops was saying, he wanted him to see it. He likes to ghost in and score. He's not that guy. You pass him a ball and I'll dribble at this guy and try and beat him a few times. So, yeah, he doesn't have that thing in him. Diaz probably more suited to that, but
you saw it. You saw it when Diaz got in.
Well, Pops was saying, he thought he was the worst player on the pitch yesterday. I would have thought, he probably, would have been one of the lower scoring ones. 58.
Nalante?
Yeah, what the boys have said about Cody about the game. He's import. Bench time again for you, Cody. I'm afraid, my friend. 60.
Okay. had him at a 71, but I'm definitely going to be dropping him down to like a 60, probably. Musical power, I got you. Now we're in the subs. We're going to do 2 subs because Joey only got in. Joey and McAllister both got in at the 81st minute. So
Darwin got loads of time, so he's good to go.
Darwin's definitely good to go. Yeah. Lucho might be a little harsh to rate him, but he did get at the 66th minute. Again, like I said, he came in.
No, that's enough. 25
so
that's good.
He got a good bit of run. Yeah. And he did have a couple, and I thought Lucho did have a good. I thought he had a chance that I thought he was going to score on. To tell you the truth, he went a little. I think he went wide with his shot. I think or something like that. Whoops. So Darwin, let's start with Darwin. I thought Darwin. Let me just get the Darwin Army out. The Darwin Army official statement out here.
So that's 100. That's 100 from Marianne.
Yeah, exactly. What is it? We'll already get Mary didn't even watch the game, but I'm sure she got 100. She'll rate him 100. I'm going to tell you right now. I thought that Darwin came in and obviously got subbed in at the 30th minute, but I just think that Darwin came in with a burst of energy for our team. I think that we had been kind of like the game was kind of lulling a little bit for both sides. There was a point where Chelsea, I wouldn't say completely dominated the ball with possession, but they definitely had the lion's share of possession for the ball. And I think that Darwin came in and was just like, an adrenaline shot. Basically, he came in and he was active. He was, running down players. He was trying to push that back line. I'll give you some stats real quick because he only had 20 touches, so he wasn't that involved offensively, but still 6 out of 8 for passing. He had a couple of great passes though, despite that. The one especially that set up Curtis. I did see someone. I think it was James Alcott. James Lawrence Alcott, right? I think that's how I pronounce his name. But great. He's really, really good at his breakdowns and everything else. He was talking about how he probably should have went to Lucho. I think it was on at the time. It might have been Kurt. Actually, I think it was Cody that was on the left. He probably should have went wide with that pass rather than go directly to Curtis, the one that that he got flipped over on. But I thought it was a very, very good pass still, all the same, for him to find it. And then he also had a really, really nice pass out to Mo as well, that almost set up Mo. But all right, enough Darwin Army talk. Let's get into these ratings. Let's start with Nolante. Nolante, what was your rating for Darwin yesterday?
Yeah, what I would say is, obviously, there's reports, especially Uruguay, apparently the whole nation's crying over Darwin not playing. I mean, give me a break, honestly, man. It's
Really?
football, it's a squad game. Yeah. Some of the people in Uruguay, the press, they're worried about Darwin, that Slot dislikes him. Yeah. Obviously, that's the boy, innit? That's the boy in it. So, but what, Darwin, to be fair, he showed a different side of him with his passing and his flicks. That was quite good stuff, Darwin. I can't really blame him. He didn't really get any chances, you can say, to have a shot on goal, but his work rate was good. He helped the team. I mean, I thought he was going to get a red card. I mean, that thing with Balashidi, the yellow, I was thinking, oh my God, Darwin, no, don't do the South American.
Because it was a dive?
No, just because he got a yellow card. He had the one foul and then he was getting involved with him. So I was thinking, oh, please don't get sent off, Darwin. But he done well. He was very useful for us. He pressed a lot. He made space for Salah. So yeah, he didn't get any chances. So I can't really blame him. So for that, 75 for me, for Darwin, 75.
Okay, Irishman.
Oh, you didn't do a very good job of opening up your Darwin defense league with the statement. He wasn't involved much offensively, but so yeah.
He was tracking back like you know.
Yeah. Well, he's a
Yeah.
striker, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that we didn't.
He's on almost on like Mane's settings with his track.
Wow.
back.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? You know, defensively, that's not what you want. Or defensively, blowing the numbers up. Yeah, cool. But like you said, he didn't get involved much offensive. He picked out 2 passes in a game in an hour. So I can't really go higher than 60.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
60.
After that, he came out like you're on a defensive team. Like you're.
Oh, it could have gone a lot lower.
Oh, I know. Like, you sound like you're about to be on the defensive team, and then all of a sudden you're like, "But I give him a 60."
Look, it's a Monday night, and I don't have time for it. Basically,
I got you.
The Darwin shot, don't have time for it. So,
Pops, what was your rating for Nunez?
Broken. I'm telling you, this man has broken me.
He's no, I mean, to be fair, Lazo, you're consistent because you said Szoboszlai has to be looking at all of the props that you get for defensive work. So similarly, as a striker, Nunez will look at it. But to be fair, he came on with looking like a man possessed, and much like Lalante, I was saying to myself, this referee is about to send you off. Just sort of calm down a little bit and just stop messing around, because he actually got booked for his reaction to a foul, which again annoyed me because it was petulant and stupid, having already done a couple of things that you could have been booked for to get booked for that. But I thought he did have a cameo that was energetic. And again, one of the things I feel good about this game was that we were not nearly at our best. It felt like we were dragged into the mud a bit, and he helped drag us out of the mud. So I got to give him some credit for that. Yeah, he didn't score, and he wasn't necessarily a huge threat in the final third, but I'll give him some points for the work he did. Plus, when Mo was getting bullied, who was the first man on the spot? Darwin said, hey, watch it. I'm here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give him 3 extra points just for that. Just for being there to defend Mo. Just for that.
Exactly.
65 million, Pops. 65
Say again?
million.
No.
65 million. Come on.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Laszlo.
If he wasn't on, but we have people
big
that would
expectation
for
him. There's a big expectation
on
on him still.
Let's be real.
No,
he's a striker. We bought him because he scored 26 for Benfica as a striker. We bought him as a guy that does the whole putting the ball in the back of net thing. So again, the energy has to be real, you know.
He has a job 20 to do. Touches, dude. Come on, man. 20
no,
touches.
Look, I don't want to get I'm not talking about yesterday's game. I'm just talking about 2 years. So
yeah.
In yesterday's game specifically, though, right?
Yeah.
No, I gave him 60, right?
I don't
Great
think
impact.
We
no,
Pops,
I don't think we played his strengths. Completely correct. He came on again like a man possessed, but he came on like super high energy. Like, this is the thing about Darwin. He will never sulk. He will be ready. Like, great. He won't be sitting there on the bench going, no, I don't want to come on. You haven't picked me for 3 games. Why do it? He's ready to come on. He's ready to make an impact. He's got nothing but positive energy about it. He wants to do well. He wants to come on. Like, you get these other boys back in the day, oh, you're not picking me, I'm going to kick up a stink and cause a problem. No, he is. He's 100% committed, professional, works hard. So as long as if you have that, you can't criticize a person's character. So I'm not criticizing the guy at all. At all. He's, like I said, he could be on the bench doing a Tevez, refusing to come on, or doing an Anelka, not showing up, or, you know, we could have a guy like that in our hands. No, he sits there and he's ready to come on and do a job when he's called on. So he has to be commended for that. It has to be.
But Laszlo, let me ask you your point of view on this. Do you think when he came on that we played in a manner that suits him? Because for me, it was just too many balls were just long balls up to him without it really being him getting in behind or him looking in a threatening position. It was just kick it up to him and let him hold it. And I
great.
Just looking at this game, forget his career and everything else. Yeah. In that 95 minutes that we played yesterday against Chelsea, and he played 77 or whatever the amount that he played, I don't think we did enough to actually get him a proper chance one-on-one. If you look at how we were playing when Jota was on and when he came on, there was a subtle change, but it was still, for me, we were doing it a lot with Mo as well. Going long, Mo one-on-one with a defender, getting grabbed as usual, hold up the ball, and I say, okay, well, what's next? That's not necessarily the best way to utilize Darwin. I don't think he's a target man in that regard. He wants it to foot sort of running through on goal, not stuck to him where he has to hold it. Yeah, so I don't think we did a lot to help him. And how do you then sort of say, well, I'm going to mark you down because you weren't given enough?
Mm-hmm. No, but this is what I've said about this. But everybody else in our team is kind of, to a degree, interchangeable. Like you can say, oh, this guy doesn't play, that guy can play.
Yeah, agreed.
When you see the way we set up, the one thing to me that's like, wow, hang on a minute, that's like taking out, that's like taking out a hammer and putting in a screwdriver. This is it, or taking out a screwdriver, putting in a hammer. Jota and Darwin are completely different types of player.
Agreed.
So if we have a system that's built around a Jota type up front, taking out a Jota and bringing it in a Darwin, that's not easy tactically. That has to change things. So yeah, I don't think we're set up in a way that gets the best out of Darwin. No, I don't think we are at all. He wants the ball in behind. Number one thing, like we talk about his work rate, his energy, he can do that going forward, pace in behind. Like he must be one of the quickest players in the league. So for like the difference between a Darwin and a Jota is massive. Like the difference between Diaz and Gakpo, not so much. McAllister and Jones, not so much. Dom and Elliott, not so much. Tsimikas, they're similar enough, but Darwin and Jota are so totally different that it's really, really, it's jarring when you change. So, I don't think we're set up at all. No, I completely agree that our team isn't set up to get the best out of Darwin Núñez's best skills, his key attributes, and that's why I think he doesn't play.
This? If that was Darwin that gets taken out rather than Diego for that foul, is now is that a red card? Because Diego's got the pace. Darwin's got the pace. The whole conversation about would he have called him or blah blah.
Not for me. A yellow for me.
All right, there's people that are saying the only reason why it was a yellow is because
I just don't know if the refs.
Diego's not fast enough, or the other player that possibly would have been trying to track back is faster than Diego.
No.
I'll tell you why. For me, it started in our half. So to me, the contact started in our half, and then it goes into their half. The ball's going from left to right across Jota, and Caldwell is on the right of Jota. So when Badiashile tackles him to the floor, probably around the center circle, he still has a good distance to travel, and the ball's not directly ahead of him. It's going across his body. Caldwell is still close enough to cover. So it's not a last man situation where people think it's always last man, so it's a red card. Denial of a goal scoring opportunity, I think, is what they've changed the rule to, which is why Saliba's was different. Because everybody was saying it's exactly the same thing as Saliba the day before, and I'm saying exactly the same. Do you know what that means? Do you know what exactly the same means?
I said it was.
But that's what they said. That's what people were saying. It's exactly I thought it was similar, the same.
But I didn't.
So it should have been a yellow, because of course the Arsenal fans are saying, "Oh well, it was a yellow and that was the right call." But look, they went to VAR and then they overturned it and it wasn't a red. So why wasn't it a red the next day? For me, it was a red on Saliba because there was no way Ben White was going to cover, and Raya was actually retreating, so he wasn't going to get to the ball before the striker either. Our situation to me was slightly different because it was, like I said, it started in our half and then was right on the half line. So Caldwell being close enough to cover, I think that makes it a yellow, just barely anyway.
Okay.
But they're both stupid anyhow, because you don't want the referee to make that decision.
Major point of the argument was the whole speed of a player. I didn't know that, like, all of a sudden the speed of a player is made into.
Someone said that. Someone said that.
No, they were saying that. They were saying that on there were commentators that said that, and there was also
that's crazy.
Commentators that said that, and also pundits that said that as well. It's
that's
crazy.
small.
That's crazy.
No, but just quickly on that, like the way when you talk about he would have been one-on-one with the keeper, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking to say he, yes, but in that scenario, they say, oh, the guy, and then he would have been one-on-one with the keeper, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the guy that would have been one-on-one with the keeper is Erling Haaland, or say it's Ibu Konate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and you can obviously say, well, Haaland has a better chance of scoring than Konate because he's Haaland, he's Konate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't take that into account. As a referee, you can't take into account whether the guy was a good player or a bad player. You just have to. It's a player in a goal scorer. So
Right.
yeah, you can't take into account whether he's fast, so he wouldn't have made it.
Again, I
Or
wasn't
he's
doing that personally.
No, that's what I'm saying. But refs can't
But I'm
do
saying,
that.
when I hear someone then say, "Oh well, Caldwell was Caldwell's a faster player, or Diego doesn't have pace, and Caldwell would have been able to be able to get back in time to get in front of him." I'm like,
they're just pieces on a board. Yeah, no, they're just pieces on a board. You can't say, oh, but that red piece, that's quicker than that other red piece. So he would he wouldn't have caught up, but he would have. They can't do that. Yeah, I know you're saying those guys are talking shit. Like they can't bring that stuff into it. Whether he's quicker than him, or it's like no. It's a line. They're pieces on a board. Was he last man? It's not whether the guy would have scored or not. Because he's a better striker.
The distance is also a big thing, Laszlo. The distance left to travel is also a big part of what they consider whether you're in on goal.
Yeah, I'll get that too. What would we have done? Let's just do Lucho as the last player, and then we'll get into man of the match.
I'll give him a 60.
Let's just give a quick number for Lucho 60. So we can get to man of the match. 60. Okay.
Yeah.
65.
Milante, you want to give a quick rating for Lucho?
Yes, 63.
Pops?
65.
65, okay.
Uh-huh.
JK?
Same as 65.
65.
Got a 58 in the chat.
I saw that.
Nothing else.
I know the reason why I gave him a 70 is I thought it was average. By the way, it was average. I didn't think he did anything spectacular. I did think though that he did have one. He did have I think he had like 2 shots. He had 2 shots. One was on target. One was off target. He should have scored on the one that was off target. He made a great. I think you saw that. You could see the difference, and most notably what you said earlier about the difference between Lucho and Cody. Like Lucho
was probably looking forward to facing Reece James, wasn't he? Imagine he was looking forward to coming and facing. Yeah. And then they switched, but you got 3 60s and a 58. So
yeah, I know people are just trying to bring down my 70. 60, 58, 60.
Well, no, they're giving you the right score, giving you their own score.
It's all good. It's all good. Everyone's welcome to the ratings, to the scores. How about 60? I'll put a 64. And I know I'll put NA for him.
That's it. So man of the match.
Just Arnie. Just going to give a quick shout for Arnie.
Arnie. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, great halftime management. He's getting a lot of praise from the tacticos on online. I mean, the real people, not the idiots that think they're real people, but yeah, real genuine people who know what they're talking about are giving a lot of praise and highlighting things and breaking down things that I could never see, but are explainable and relatable when you watch. You go, okay, cool, he is doing that. It is quite good. So yeah, I would say not a masterclass, but another one of his better ones. 85. 85.
85. Well,
I think he did.
That's high praise, though. Definitely.
Yeah, no, I thought he did a really good.
With the halftime adjustments, I guess you must have had him. You probably had him at a lower score in the first half, and then you
probably around 70. But
I
still believe we had gears. Like I said, I think Chelsea were in, if you want to call it a 4 on the floor. I think they were in 4th gear. We were probably in 2nd. They were in 4th gear the whole time. We were in 2nd, and we had a 3rd gear on the 4th that we could have gone. I don't think they did, and we only had to kind of go up a little bit to regain it. So,
gotcha. This was the
very,
quote,
very
by the way. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut across you.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying this was the quote that I mentioned earlier. This was Arne Slot on his yellow card. I thought it was actually for Darwin's, but apparently it was for the handball that wasn't called. He says the booking came from 3 or 4 different decisions that didn't go our way. The handball, everyone was screaming for it, so he did it. He says I did as well. I deserved the yellow card. It was as clear as the second penalty he should have given us. That's what he reported on Sky. Obviously, he was not happy with the officiating. A lot of us also weren't. But who cares? A win's a win.
Yeah, exactly.
So we just move on from it, I guess. And
I like the way he mentions at the start, though, just quickly. It came from 3 and 4. Like, that just shows you, like, they get warned constantly. Like, refs don't like yellow card managers. They're like, come on, don't make. They're one more. Like, they always get warned. They rarely get yellow carded for the first thing they do, unless it's something stupid. So it's always good. Yeah, I was bitching and moaning and shouting and screaming. He said, one more time, you're going to get a yellow. Yeah, they don't.
No, he was demonstrative on the sideline, though, for that one. He was very.
But like you said, you liked it. You enjoyed it. You were like that.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed the fact that,
back for Darwin, So
yeah, because he's showing a bit of, like, passion, and he's not, he's very much like the moniker that you gave him, actually, the Dr. Sleep moniker.
Dr.
So, I mean,
Sleep.
like,
On the pitch, put them to sleep, but,
Yeah. So 85. Nolante, what'd you give him?
So yeah, echo a bit what Bryce says. First off, the possession, we were a bit defensive, lacking a bit, getting bypassed from the midfield, be adjusted. The only thing I'll say was that I just like us to see just more control. When we're 2-1 up, I just want us to we're just still playing the block counter, just kind of go for the kill kind of thing, just get the 3-1 and then kind of control the game. We just need to, just like 2-1, although we defended well in other future games, I just feel that we need to get the kill goal and then relax. But in other words, 83 for me.
Okay. Pops, what was your score for Slot? For Mr. Locke, as you like to call him?
Mr. Locke, my guy. First, I guess you have to credit him for starting CJ over Mac and trusting in him to do the job that he needed to do. So I'm glad that that's there. That's an option we've seen. So yeah. So and also glad that CJ took the opportunity. So in game initially in the first half, I think Maresca moved his team into like a 3-4-3. And I think they were beating us in the middle of the park because they had the extra man, because Gusto was inverting effectively and Reece James was playing more as a centre back than his usual wing back. So 100%. You could see we made some slight adjustments on that, which again you have to credit him for, and I'll give him some extra points for the fire as well, because he was pissed and I was pissed too. The referee was absolutely ridiculous yesterday, and you know me, I don't like the ref conversations, but he was.
They did 20 minutes.
God,
I had to do 20 minutes harder on Pops. Come on, please.
No,
don't bring me back.
It was terrible. So I'll give him a 87 because of his wanting to beat the referees at the end of the game.
Okay. JK, real quick, how do you want to give a shout or give a quick number on what you thought Slot was at for you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. For me, it was good to see Slot get a little bit G'd up, because remember at the end when Darwin went for a ball and got shoulder barged, and then
he was G'd up. I thought for some reason I thought that was
the one you were going with. Yeah.
I thought that was the one he got the yellow card for, but I don't. I guess apparently it was the one for the handball.
Oh, okay. But for
at
me,
least that's what, from his comment. That's what he said. That's what he got.
It was just good to see him get a bit up at a bit feisty, and I think everyone was the same when Darwin got when Darwin was shoulder barred.
Come on,
everyone was going mad. Like that was no way a foul.
I was so angry over that.
What Slot was doing, everyone was doing.
So angry. I didn't go. I didn't go because it was I had a busy weekend, so I didn't get to go to my supporter pub. But I think my neighbors knew that I didn't like that call. That's how loud I was. I think because that was Darwin. That could have been Darwin's big chance there. I think that was possibly one of his only opportunities to probably get in on goal. And I wanted to see Darwin score. I wanted to, especially if we're gonna have to utilize Darwin the way we're gonna have to utilize him going forward as the starter.
He'll get game time now because of Jota. See what's happening with him.
Yeah,
So
no, that's what I mean.
Darwin will get game time, so he might be sort of mentally prepared for the game a bit more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably safe. I think the 83, 80, 85.
Yeah, I'll give him an 85. You got to win at home, you know.
All right, let's go down. Let's go. JK, you can start us off. We'll go JK, Pops, Irishman, and then Alante. Man of the match. Here's your opportunity in the chat too. Man of the match. I saw Max's man of the match. He said Curtis. Give me your man of the match. Let's go right up.
Like I gave two guys a 90, and that was Curtis and Salah. So it's either one of the two. I'm gonna go with Curtis. Because for me, it's not normal for him to do that. So him doing that, like, it was good to see. Hence why I'll give him the man of the match.
Okay. Pops, your man of the match?
Spot on. Ditto again.
Yeah.
I like going after JK.
Yeah. It makes it easy. It makes it quick and easy.
Makes it easy. Thanks, my buddy. Thanks, buddy.
There is.
There you
go. Brian, who was your man of the match?
Oh, yeah, gave it away already. Cujo.
Okay. Man of the match for you, Nalante.
This will be interesting.
Yeah, it should be. I think he's on mute, but to make sure. Oh, the drum roll maybe. Well, we'll see what his man of the match. I'll tell you my man of the match. My man of the match was Curtis. I agree. Man of the match. A lot was riding on this. He got his big start. You know, he's had a big weekend. You know, with the birth of his daughter and everything else. But you know, certainly this isn't to that level of accomplishments. You know, or blessings. But it certainly is up there, and I think he showed his appreciation for getting the start and actually showed how much it meant with the celebration, the thumb sucking celebrations. Obviously, a shout out to his daughter, and he was definitely pumped for it. And I think that some might have said that he was fortunate to get the. Real quick, do you think he was fortunate to get the? Do you think he should have done the touch that he did? Some people said that he was fortunate to get the touch the way it dropped. I thought it was, hey, that's skill. If you believe that's the way to get control of it and be able to poke it by, was a great play.
Come on. Jeez,
I'm just telling you what I watched way too much YouTube.
People.
I know that already.
What a goal. Beautiful. If I scored that, I'm thinking one touch with my left and the other. I've done it both feet. One touch, and then to finish with the other in a big game like that. How can you pick that? Man, people are really weird.
Yeah. I think a commentator said, I think someone on the post game said that he was fortunate to get that to drop the way it did, and I'm like, hey
look, was it Gary? I think it was Gary Player, Pops, and 12 man. You're golf fans. I think it was Gary Player said. Or was it Trevino, maybe? He said, the more I practice, the luckier I get.
That sounds like a Trevino statement, to be honest.
Probably
it sounds like Trevino.
He made his own look. You make your own look there.
He did.
Milante, do you want to get a shout for man of the match? I see you're back off of mute, so make sure you get your shout in there before I bring up the man. No. I think we already know who's going to be man of the match. It's pretty consolidated. Just want to make sure you got your...
Yeah, that's fine. I'm with Jones, but I would have given it to Salah over Jones personally.
Yeah. Oh wow!
No, wow. I was thinking you would. I was thinking you would go that way.
Yeah, that was clear. That was clear. 12.
Okay. I thought no, there was someone else. I think someone else said. I think there was someone early. I don't know if they're with us currently, but there was someone else that I think that said they would have possibly given it to Virgil. So
there was a VVD earlier.
Yeah, somebody said VVD in the chat.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. Maybe it could have gone Virgil, could have gone Mo, but I think the Scouser, one of the Scousers in our team, gets the man of the match. It's got to be Curtis. Big up to Curtis. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. I definitely want to see what he can do with this. You know, hopefully he can build off of this momentum. He can keep it going, and make sliding door opportunities. People, we've said it before. I think we can't stress it enough. I mean, Gravenberg. Not many people had him starting in the pivot spot. Or even being a 6 or being a consideration to be a starter for us at all. And yet he's made the most of it, with Darwin, just, knowing with the comments of Kelleher earlier about Ali, he made actually some comments. I have an article that I'll bring it up tomorrow, but it's an article that he made some comments about, how he's very much appreciative that he gets to train with one of the best, if not the best keeper in the world, but this is his opportunity to hold down the ship for him and for the team in general. And it's just these sliding door opportunities. Maybe this is one of Curtis's sliding door opportunities, as in a lot of people calling for Elliott to be that guy, to be the player that comes in, maybe he gets his opportunity to, give Dom a bit of a rest and allow for Maka to play, or vice versa. I don't think he's going to take over Maka's position, but what I'm trying to say is sliding door opportunities. Hopefully Curtis can make the most of this for himself. We wanted to get into a question that Nalante had before we wrap up here. This is the question.
In the chat. We can hang on for a while. We got Pops in the building. We can.
Yeah, I know. We've got Pops in the building, so that's why trying to make the most of this opportunity.
We don't need to rush out.
No, not at all.
Okay,
not at all.
Dr. Pops is in the building, man. Come on, man. We're gracious with his presence. Come on, man. Busy man and all that. Dr. Pops, so.
Does Curtis have a song, by the way, real quick? I'm sorry. I don't think Curtis has a song, does he?
Well, Halor came up with a horrible suggestion earlier on that U2 should write a song for Curtis. And please don't. Basically, U2. If you're listening,
he is not a U2 fan. He is not a U2
fan. Bono, I'm sure you're listening, Bono. But please don't. Basically, please don't. We've got that guy, Jamie Phillips. Whatever happened to him? Not Jamie Phillips. He's the other guy. Sorry. Jamie Webster. Jamie Webster. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
sure he's still knocking around. He can put one together.
There you go. I'm trying to think of a good U2 song that you can even apply it to.
He got a great boost off the Jurgen Klopp thing, though. Jamie Webster. He was getting played, and he was busking, and then he's playing 5,000 seater stuff, and for free probably. But anyway, I've seen him play some big venues since then. But some good nights out. They're pretty legendary around Liverpool. I don't anybody in the chat can say that back in the day, especially around the Champions League final time, those Jamie Webster nights in Liverpool were they were the place to be, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
People were watching a game and he was coming out and doing shows. So it'd be good to see him come back. He can do a few songs.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could do Ed Sheeran, do an Ed Sheeran song or something like that. Maybe you could do one from. How about that? No. Quiet on. There's
making it worse.
I was crickets. Okay, that was crickets.
I'll go for U2. No, if it's
U2, can't give him a
I'll go to. Yeah, if it's Sheeran or U2, I'm going back to U2. Sorry.
You're going back to U2.
Yeah, sorry. Forgive me, Bono. If it's Sheeran,
I don't know too many Ed Sheeran songs.
But Sheeran is the But we were talking about the other night. We were talking all night about famous bands.
Mm-hmm.
Sheeran is he sponsored Ipswich for a while.
Yeah.
But we were talking about Liverpool.
He was at the game. He was at the opener.
Yeah, and he F's off. But we were talking about famous Liverpool fans who were dead. You know who we forgot? We totally forgot, like one of the biggest Liverpool fans of most recent years, John Oliver. We totally forgot John Oliver.
Oh no, yeah, no.
A huge Liverpool fan.
No, I know exactly. Yeah. John Oliver, yeah, I've seen him do. He did the Men in Blazers show. I saw him talk about Liverpool for quite a bit, actually. Yeah, definitely. John Oliver, for sure. Got his own show on HBO.
Biggest show in America. Well,
maybe Norm. I think Norm's daughter. I think that's cool. She has a music channel. She plays guitar. That's really cool. Maybe she can come up with. She can come up with a song for Curtis.
Yeah,
proper song. Just wondering. I don't know. I don't know too many YouTube songs off the top of my head, and I don't know. I think I know. The only reason why I know one song by Ed Sheeran is because I happened to be looking up something about Ipswich, and he's got a song called Curtains. So maybe it was.
Oh,
it's
curtains this year, is it?
It was curtains for. It was curtains for the Blues yesterday, and he had them. And Curtis had them singing the blues yesterday. He had them singing the blues.
Big Daddy.
Enough of that. All right. Let's get into Delante's question before I do any more dad jokes.
Fine.
What is your question?
Now, my question is about the goalkeeper position. So, obviously, we signed Mama for next season, and a lot of people said Alisson was going to go, but realistically, Alisson has said that he's happy, he's content at Liverpool, and he wants to stay for many more years. Now, I'm just looking up just statistically about Alisson's injury record for the last couple of years, and he's missed, I think.
This is gonna be a tough one. I think we voiced this one a couple.
You gone? Delante, you're gone, man. I
No,
can't hear now.
you can hear me.
Yes, we hear you now.
Yeah.
You can hear me, yeah. Okay. Yep. Then he missed another 10 in the 2021 season, and then last year I think that was his most games missed. Last year was 19 games altogether, and obviously now he's missed into the international November. Now I know we've got Mama for the future, and Alisson is content of staying. Mm-hmm. Do you? I mean, as a chat, and then for you, I suppose, do you see Mama take another Alisson in the next 2 years in terms of Alisson form wise? Because let's be honest, form wise, Alisson hasn't really dipped off. And if Alisson is in form, and if let's say in the next 2 years, Alisson, let's just say his injuries reduce, for instance, just by a couple of games, he plays a significant amount of games in the next 2 years, and Mama is still there. Would you say Mama might be a mistake in regards to signing him as competition?
No, actually, you might not. Also, you can add to that the fact that actually Mamar Dashvili came out with a comment saying that he is going to actively try to pursue to be the number one keeper. His intent is being the number one keeper. He's not coming here to be a backup. So it's gonna be a tough question. Yardos is another one too as well. Yardos is a good keeper as well. You know, what are we going to do with Yardos? What are we going to do with Kelleher? What do we do with Ali, with the way that he's, you know, I know that if we had Chris on the show, he could tell us a little bit better about, you know, these types of injuries, but I know he said it. Pops could probably, I'm sure Pops and him have probably spoken about it either backstage or on their show about how this injury is something that we're going to have to live with more so than, you know, kind of like it's not something that necessarily just goes away, kind of this, you know, pops up here and there, and you have to kind of deal with it. You got to kind of like, you know, temper it as best as possible. That might limit his availability of being the stalwart that we just naturally say every day, all day, we're going to have him in at the keeper position. So it's a big question. I think it's a big question. I asked that question, I think, a couple of shows back, but I also think it's a viable question to talk about. I think if anything, the last part and point I would say, at least from my opinion, is that, you know what, we're blessed to know that we have this goalkeeping position covered in more ways than one, with definitely four capable keepers. But you know, I would even ask a question back to say, if Kelleher hypothetically makes a run and we're going to see him play against Real Madrid. We obviously just saw him play against Chelsea. We're going to see him play against Arsenal. We might, depending on whether, Ali stays on track, we could even see him possibly play against Manchester City. If he were to have a nice bit of a run and be like that, have that kind of run that he had in the cup matches, cup competitions for us, would you possibly say that, do you make a pitch to him to say, hey, stick with us for another year and you'll be our starting keeper, or do you just let him go? I don't know. What's the panel say to that one? I see Pops and JK are on mute, so Irishman, I'll start with you.
Well, I would say what Kelleher said in his interview, that he knows that when Ali comes back, he's going to be the number 2 again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No matter how well he plays, I think he knows that. I think that would still be the case. That wouldn't be a reflection on Kelleher. It would be a recognition of Alisson. So those things can be completely separate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Mamrashvili thing, he's coming in and looking at a maximum of 1 year going toe-to-toe with Alisson, and then trying to, because he'd probably have been sold an idea. He won't be coming in here thinking, this is what I'm going to do. I think he'd have been told, we want you to come in. Obviously he's been told what to do, or what the plan is, because we bought him and we left him on loan at his club. So he was obviously amenable to our way of doing things that way.
Mm-hmm.
So we've told him the plan is this: part 1, we buy you; part 2, you stay on loan at their club; part 3, you come to Liverpool, you spend a year at the club. Alisson is here year 4 or part 4, everything going well. Ali rides off into the sunset and you take over the gloves. That to me would sound like a viable plan that's been offered to him. He's come out and said, oh yeah, I'm not going there to be, this or that. That's cool. Yeah, nice one.
Mm-hmm.
But keep it respectful, keep it the right side of the line, and that's fine. But I would imagine that's what he's been told. Ali can't go on forever, and like you were saying, Chris will tell you, these injuries are going to come more and more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it may not even be him having to play his way into a team. He'll probably be given the opportunity just by being here. Ali will get injured again, he'll get a chance. So yeah, I think he's probably thinking 1 season at Valencia, maximum 1 season at Liverpool as a competitor, backup, understudy, whatever you want to call it. But with the amount of games, he'll probably get at least one cup competition, probably 2. So he'll play the FA Cup and the League Cup. And then the next year he'll want to be challenging. Yeah.
Pops is back with us. Pops, do you have an opinion on that one?
On Ali and Mama?
Yeah, Ali and Mama, and like what the future holds.
Kels.
Yeah, like our goalkeeper situation, basically. I brought this up a couple episodes ago because it was just something I thought of, like the fact of Kelleher's back. Kelleher's going to be our starting keeper, obviously, for the temporary future. But Yaros is a player that got in that matchup recently. I don't know if that means that if Yaros is going to start now, possibly for the cup matches, does he start against Brighton? Or do you start Kelleher in all these games? And does it mean that? And
answering Atlante's question as well, just
and also to answer his question as well, which was initially, do we need to possibly look at moving on from Ali? I think is what he's basically saying. Because of the injuries.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I think Ali's for me still the best keeper around. And I think I read something that they're looking into the injury history and trying to figure out what's going on. Chris Angel said, and obviously he's our doctor on call. He said, if you look at how Ali runs and walks, he has issues naturally with his hamstrings.
Bow-legged is what.
Yeah, he was saying
bow-legged.
So highly unlikely that you can then just change his gait at this stage in his life. So if Kells plays well, I figure that just means he can drive the price up on his transfer out through the door, because I believe he's going to go. Mama could come in. I'm seeing somebody in the chat say he could possibly get loaned back out for another year, which probably would mean we'd have to re-sign a Yaros or Kells if Mama were to go back on.
That's part of his deal. I think his current...
Hero is saying that, yeah.
His current deal is that he could be loaned. He could be loaned for a second year out again.
So that's what Hero was saying there. He's saying
that could happen.
Again.
But that would mean we have to commit to one or the other two then.
Because
if he goes back on
he
loan,
won't stay.
Kells wants.
It's technically a 2-year loan, but the second's an option. Optional to be evaluated.
And like 12 Man has been pointing out, this is actually Yaris's last year as well.
Yeah, his contract is up, isn't it? Yeah. So
so you've got.
It sounds like Mama's in then. It sounds like Mama's in next season. Ali's got until 2027 on his deal though. So as much as he might want to be number one, you'll probably have to wait until Ali gets an injury and then take his spot. I don't see him coming in and beating Ali as the number one keeper. If Ali's fit and he's fit, I don't think you're gonna pick Mama over Ali. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but as it stands right now for me, what I know, I'm picking Ali all day, every day.
Yeah, but you say to a guy like Mama, number one, number two, you're going to get the cups. And There's plenty of football to play. I want 60 games a year anyway, so you'll get. But you're looking at him going, as a keeper, not being any way weird about it. But I'm looking at Ali going, yeah, he's probably going to get injured. I'll get my shot. And like what 12 Man is saying there now about Kells, Mama will be thinking, and when I do get my shot, I'm going to stay in that team.
Yeah.
Ali will come back and he's not going to. I'm going to stay in that team, even when he does come back. Because Kelleher has come out in that interview and said, look, I know as soon as Ali comes back, he's going back in the team. And he said, I respect that. I know that. I realize it and I respect it and I understand it, but I know it. Now, Mama will be going, no. When I get in that team and Ali does eventually get injured, even if it's only 3 games, he's not getting me back out of that team. I think that will be the change. I think that might be my answer to what Nalate is saying. That will be the change in the mindset. That when Mama really comes in, he'll be thinking, no, I'm going to take your spot. Whereas Kelleher knows I'm minding your spot. So
right.
I think that will be the change in mentality around it.
You're also looking at the man too, because Mama's now Mr. Locke's man, as opposed to all the other players are there pre him. So if that's a man he's selected as you're the next in line, then he would actually have a shot at being number one, while Kells doesn't have that shot, to be honest. Kells is as the best number 2.
Quick side question to Pops in the chat. Do you think Chiesa was a slot man? Think on it. Continue what you think. But do you think Chiesa was a slot man? But you can move on and continue the goalkeeping.
I'll say no. I think they just rolled the dice on Chiesa. I think they just rolled the dice on Chiesa, to be honest. I don't think that was
I think he
necessarily
is. It was too good
Mr.
of a
Locke saying, I want it. Yeah, it was just, that's an
too good
opportunity.
of an
Okay, let's go. I'm just hoping that he's not Arthur Mello or Ben Davies, because he's kind of scaring me, to be honest. He's kind of scaring me right now.
Full
I don't want to be too
saying,
anxious. I don't want to be too anxious, but
No.
I'm a little apprehensive with the fact that
You're getting
he's
itchy,
not
Pops, is
there.
what you're telling me. You're
Yeah,
getting
a little bit, just a little bit, a little bit, to be honest. I didn't think I would be, to be honest. I was excited because I wanted to start in Italy. I said, give him his debut back in Italy, and he had a little sighting, and now he's gone. I'm saying, oh my days, did Juventus stitch us up?
I'm looking for that quote.
The other guys, Nolante, check out. Do you think he was a slot guy? He think, it's a thing we can get done. We haven't done anything. It's cheap.
Yeah, I reckon like that, Brian. It was the last few days of the window. Nothing really going on in any position. We ended up getting this guy for 10 million. Thing is, no one's even talking about what's happened to him. When's he coming back? So, does anyone know what the real diagnosis of his problem is? See, nothing's been told. Said it's just been he's missed 2-3 games now, hasn't he? So we had the international
he didn't have a preseason, JK. So he was always behind. Sorry, he didn't have a preseason at all. So he was always behind our guys.
Yeah.
And I think he's picked up a niggle, which they haven't said exactly what it is, but they're treating it. I guess they're saying, well, there's no rush for him to be back. And I'm sort of crossing my fingers and saying, all right, let me just hope that that's really the case. And it's not. Remember Thiago? Oh yeah, Thiago's got a little problem.
Oh yeah.
And then you don't see him for 3 months.
One
of them ones. Not one of them ones. Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not one of them ones. Yeah.
Here, let me give you this quote to what I was in reference to what I was saying, because the article begins by saying Marmadashvili has declared he is ready to depose Alisson Becker as Liverpool's number one when he makes his move to Anfield next summer. He quotes, I was attracted by the Liverpool project when the club's representation met with me and to sign me. I will fight for the starting goalkeeper position, even if the current goalkeeper does not leave the team. Quote, unquote.
There you go.
Good.
Standard. Good stuff. What you want to hear?
Good.
What I want to hear?
Yeah.
I ain't going there to be nobody's bridesmaid. Cool.
Right, exactly.
That guy is big, man. He is a big dude. I like the look of him. It can go either way, but he reminds me more of an Oblak than an Ederson or not. When I look at this guy, he seems like, not saying he's not good with the ball, but he seems to be more like a slightly
keeper,
older
like a
school
Peter Cech
shot stopper.
keeper.
Yeah. I mean, they all have to be able to play now, but this guy seems to me like he's not going to be dominated by anybody. 6'7", 6'8", nearly. This guy, he's huge.
Real quick question, then, since we're talking about keepers, because I saw this. I saw Doyle from AG and from the Top TV. He got to be on one of the segments against a Chelsea supporter, and they're doing I thought they were just doing a current 11, but they did a all-time 11. And at keeper, would you say that would you have Ali at the keeper position for an all-time 11 between us and Chelsea? Probably let's just keep it to the Prem, actually.
No.
Over Peter Cech or does Cech?
Over Cech?
Yes.
No.
In their assessment, and this is for the chat too. We're just once again getting in. I know going a little long, but like I said, whenever we have pops in the house, we try to we try to extend the party as long as we can. So, would you put Peter Cech above Ali as the keeper in an all-time 11, combined all-time 11?
Because Ali can still do more.
If they were the only two choices.
Cech can't.
That's who made it over. Cech made it into their 11. Cech made it into the 11 as the starting keeper.
If it could only be Ali or Cech.
Alisson was was the nominee from Doyle was the guy that was doing it from.
Yeah, but for the purposes of our pick, it can either be Ali or Czech. Is that the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going Czech, but totally different type of keeper. Totally different type of goalkeeper. And I don't even like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the games he played, titles he's won, he was pretty much unbeatable for a long time. It would still have to be Czech for me if I was going to be real about it.
No, you're being real because I know you do not like your. You do not like. I mean, you do not.
No,
like
exactly.
You do not like Chelsea one bit. So.
And yeah, but if you're just talking about like as a goalkeeper now in the modern era, Czech probably wouldn't be able to do it. You know, he is just a slightly. He wasn't a ball, but he was not a ball player. But look at the games he's played. Look at the titles he's won. You know, if you go pure medals on the table, I mean, yeah, but a completely different type of keeper. Really, a completely different type of goalkeeper. But
I know Bernie and Norm are going. They're going kind of back, but into the history of keepers. But
no, but if it's just a straight choice between those two guys in an all-time 11, I'd have to be real because I'd use the same criteria for other players. So, right on the face of it, right now, if Ali had one more league title, you know, which we should have, if you look, you know, if you're going to go down that way, and maybe another Champions League, then it evens it up. But yeah, we're talking about keepers from very, very close to each other, but almost two completely different versions of the position. Czech was just a pure keeper. Ali's a ball player and Ali's a great one-on-one.
But that's the thing. I think that Ali
amazing one-on-one keeper.
If you're going to say that, then Peter Cech could. Yeah. I mean, certainly, I'm not saying he can't play in this era, but he wouldn't be.
No, that's the thing.
He wouldn't be the first choice in this era, but yet Ali would still be a first choice in Peter Cech's era.
In that era, yeah, maybe he wouldn't be because he wouldn't get picked by. So you know, that's why I don't like transplanting eras because there's always.
I know it's tough. Yeah. It's tough. I know sometimes the hard.
No, but I just think like if Ali had come to the Premier League 4 years earlier, and we'd won 2 titles, you know, and you could stack them all up together, and but they're a little bit too different for me, but equal in their in their abilities. But even Czech would say, that's a different role. But hey, that's getting into the weeds. Let's get into the weeds. But yeah, Ali's right up there in the pantheon of great Premier League keepers. He'll always be up there. He will, without a doubt. He's better than Ederson. I think he put that debate to bed a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was one of the earlier debates. Oh, but Ederson, you know, or David, he starts for Brazil. Who starts for Brazil for the last 5 years? Alisson, not Ederson. Mm-hmm. Even when they were winning the league and we weren't, Alisson started for Brazil. You know, Ederson had a short little run, but
he's no Peter Cech.
Nope, he's no Peter Cech.
Nope. Oh, all right. So that's one for Cech. Pops, what was your answer to, by the way? Did you have Cech over Ali too?
No, I cheat because as you know, me and the Premier League being too long for you to just say, oh, in the Premier League era, it's a different sport right now than it was in 1992. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I would say if you're picking a keeper pre, you go with Cech. Post, you go with Ali. The other problem is Ali's not done, so Ali could still win another.
Oh, so wait, you're saying if you're picking it for that era? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, if you're picking in the past, all right. So if you look at the best keeper in the Premiership from now to from the beginning of time to now, most people are going to say Peter Schmeichel. Arguably, because that's the iconic keeper that you see when you think of the Premier League. You think of him, but other people would say, well, would he be the same keeper today? I don't know, but I think he was one of the greatest keepers that you would ever see. But you put him in the window, where he belongs.
I mean, I think De Gea is better than Schmeichel, to be honest with you. But
no way. Wow. Van der Sar is better than De Gea for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
But see, this is the thing. You're talking about the lineage. You're going back to 92, right?
Yeah,
up to
so
now.
you
And then you have the idea
that's
like,
it.
oh,
So
but Schmeichel couldn't do
See,
that now. Well, if he was born today, he would learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Like his kid played that way. You know, you can see it. His kid grew up. Casper
I mean,
Schmeichel, he
yeah,
Schmeichel
became
could
a
throw it to
ball
the half
I
player.
mean, you're
line.
talking about
Schmeichel could throw it to the
it
half line.
is
He
not
need to
like
kick it to the half line.
So,
it is not.
you just need to judge them. Like, and what Pop said is correct. It's like Czech's career is over. Ali's is still yet
It's
to
still,
run.
isn't,
it's
yeah.
still, yes.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
just when someone's career is over, you judge. Yeah, but it is different era, especially like we know in the Premier League. What over the last 10 years, what goalkeepers have been asked to do has probably changed more drastically than any other position. Even the inverted fullback nonsense or all that or stuff. What goalkeepers are now expected to do compared to even 10 years ago is completely different. You know, it's all like, oh, but is he any good with his feet? Like that's all people. Oh, is he any good with his feet? Back then, they were all decrying Pep Guardiola because he took one look at Joe Hart and kicked him out for Claudio Bravo, who couldn't really save anything but was really good with his feet. They were all losing their minds. But now everyone's like looking at the keeper. The first thing, oh, is he any good with his feet? Like, it's not that long. It's not even 20, 30 years ago. It's only 10 years ago. It's like keepers were, oh, he's an amazing keeper. And guess what? He's also really good on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that used to be like a bonus extra thing. Now it's like, but can they play? Didn't take that long. The whole.
I get it. I mean, like, I get it. I'm just asking because, like, yeah, you know, if you're doing that combined 11, you got to pick someone. So, you know,
oh yeah,
that's why I'm asking. You know,
Sure.
I personally would have picked Ali over Peter Cech. I know that Peter Cech was a phenomenal goalkeeper, definitely great shot stopper. I guess you could say is possibly better, you know, assessment of his play.
That's a great goalkeeper.
I just think that Ali is a better all-around keeper.
No, but
shot stopper.
Ali's a great shot stopper as well. You see. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Ali's also really good at the old school stuff. He's not just a ball player.
That's exactly what I'm asking.
That's the thing. But I'm just saying, it's just, if you're to take it over the years.
Yeah. What you about to say, Pops?
Is Cech the keeper for Chelsea in that season where they broke the record? When they only conceded 15, 14, whatever
16,
it is, right?
16, I think it's 16. I think
that's him, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's him.
Then
it's either his first or second season.
If you're picking Cech over Ali, and that's sort of the measure, then there's no disrespect for Ali being second to Cech. This is another one of those 100.
Oh, I'm not saying it's
99, 98. No. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't think there's a wrong answer in it. If you're looking at it, it's all preference and the era, and it's when are they playing? Are you playing today? Does that then give Ali the edge because it's today as opposed to it was before?
Mm-hmm.
The manager, the tactics, the Terry Carvalho.
Who you playing for? What system you're playing under? Yeah. So are you playing for Klopp or Mourinho? Well, Mourinho's going to pick his guy, so Klopp will pick his guy.
Oh, Mourinho, man, he just said, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to not concede, and that guy up top. That was it. That's one of the best defenses ever. Mm-hmm. So he was in behind one of the best defenses ever in the league. So everything comes into play.
Okay.
All right. Before you go, yes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go on, JK. Go, JK.
Oh no. Go ahead.
Now, I wanted to break down what I was saying in the chat because I couldn't type as much as what I wanted to say on the Virgil thing on the goal. And since you were talking about defense, when I think it's Tosin plays it to Gusto on their left, he cuts between Mo and Nunez. As he cuts between, Van Dijk takes a step forward and leaves Ibu behind. That's why I said he went to the ball. No, listen, Nalty. I'm actually gonna watch it and tell you right now. Okay. I'll watch it. As Gusto releases it to Caicedo, who we've left free as a bird in the middle of the park, which is really the issue on this goal. Caicedo is free of both Gakpo and Szoboszlai and picks it up right on the center circle. Verge is already about 4 yards ahead of Ibu, and Jackson is between the two of them. As Caicedo collects the ball, Verge starts to go back towards goal, and Ibu is still behind him, and Jackson is still in between the two of them. When Caicedo releases it, he releases it on Virgil's side, and Verge is still retreating. So he's called Ibu up, and Ibu's left behind. He went up and came back. So maybe he didn't join Ibu, and then he didn't go with Jackson in the manner that you would expect him to go with him, to be honest. But I'm not saying, and again, this is not me saying, oh, it's Verge's fault. I'm just saying a lot of people said, oh, it's Ibu's fault because he was onside. There's so much that happened that led to him being in that on-offside situation. And you can say, well, the breakdown actually was, to me, in the center of the park, because there's no way Caicedo should have been able to play one straight pass that broke us up like that, because he was free, literally in the center circle. And then Robbo does more to track back to me than Verge does. But again, it's not me saying it's Verge's fault. I'm just saying exactly what I saw when the goal was scored. And it's millimeters. Because if Ibu's leaning a little bit more to the right, then he's offside. And you're saying, well done for holding the line, and forget all of the other stuff that was bad on our part, where Gusto comes between Mo and Nunes, and then Caicedo gets a free ball in the middle of the center circle, which should never happen, to be honest. You should never, ever have their center midfield in the middle of the pitch free by himself. That's it.
Ibu looked like a rocket on that one. I don't know what he was doing. He had that leg was way too far extended.
Yeah, the position was odd when they drew the lines. Like, Ibu, why are you in this stance?
For those that don't know, rockets
what is this stance?
Pops, you're right. Pops, you're right. No, Pops made a point there. That's correct. If you get opened up by one straight ball through the middle, something's gone wrong. Something's gone way wrong. Someone's gone, because that's just like, no, that shouldn't happen.
When you freeze it, Laszlo, he's in the center circle. Caicedo he's just made a little jog past, as I said, I think it's Cody. Yeah, Cody was still on at that point, and Szoboszlai. A jog past them. They've focused on the ball has gone over to Gusto, so they're looking at the ball on their left, our right, and he's just made his way into the center circle and picked up a straight ball, and then said, "There you go, look, you're open." And Jackson's made a really good run, because initially, like I said, he was between Virgil and Ibu. And then the ball actually goes on the outside of Virgil. So the ball goes between Virgil and Robbo, and he's made the run onto it. So it's a good run. Did anybody say Kells could have done better on it? Do you think Kells could have done better?
I heard it said. I have heard it said that, yeah, look, whatever. But I've heard some people say he's cold. It's first shot. But, yeah, I don't want to go down the. Thankfully, there was none of the. Oh, Ali would have saved that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But no, there's it's a fine, legitimate question. Say, could he have done better? Could he have gotten closer? You know, I don't know. He wasn't. I don't know what it was. Something about him. He wasn't switched on. Yes, I don't know. He wasn't perfect. Yes, he wasn't great. Maybe that knocked him. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he could have saved it? I don't know.
Look, 1-on-1 it was always going to be advantage to the striker. So if he scores, he scores. I can't really,
of course.
We can't really blame Kells for that. But you're right. I think in terms of Alisson, maybe Alisson might be a little bit more proactive. But again, Alisson's he's the best in the world. So
that's why he's the best in the world. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know, again, you know how they stay. But like I said, but again, the goals have got, look, Pops, no, it's fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, like, obviously we've gone past it. No, I hear you. Don't get me wrong. I hear you. But I've just looked at it again, and my point still stands, because VVD again. But the problem was and again, that's what I was saying about the midfield. We're getting bypassed too much in the middle. They were just cutting through like butter. Yeah, that's the problem in it. And then and it's good, and that's what I'm saying about Jones. As good as he was, but the first half he wasn't doing these defensive duties, and then Grav kind of slipped up a bit as well, once or twice, and that's the problem. So when Jackson again, for me, made the run. VVD has to come and draw, but then he kind of feels Jackson, so he's like, you know what, the boys know the drill. Step out, Kanate leg, Jackson's onside, bang, goal, 1-0, 1-1, and we move. But anyway, it doesn't really matter anyway. Whether we stepped out, we went back, whatever. We done our job, man. We won, and we moved to them scumbags across North London. We've got a lot of history with next on Sunday, which I can't wait because what I'll say to you is the excuses I'm hearing from them coming out. Oh, Saliba's missing. No, the guard. I mean, look, every team gets injuries again. And you know what? Before for you guys in the panel, I was listening to a bit of the Big Six, their match analysis, and then Turkish, the Arsenal fan, he was like, "Oh, again they'll play the Chelsea win." He was like, "Oh, well, it's only Chelsea. The real test comes next week." I was like,
No,
"Okay,
that's good. No, that's good. That's good. That's good.
yeah."
Victor,
We haven't
Yeah,
played
exactly.
anyone in Atlantic.
I like
We
Big
haven't
Dog.
played anyone.
This Pops,
We haven't played
JK,
anyone.
Brian, mate. I tell you, man, these need to be cooked. I don't even want to draw. I want to win.
I
A
want to
draw
win
will
next
be
week.
okay.
Yeah, but or not next week, but next week. I
Oh,
guess
sorry,
so.
this
Yeah.
week. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. We need to cook these man because these man are getting too hype. We
Yeah,
need
no,
to cook. A draw would not be bad. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
they
they're
need to
gonna.
be
Yeah,
silenced.
I don't want to like downplay. Like I know everyone's talking about all the players that are going to be missing and all the injuries that they have and everything else. Arsenal's still a good team. You know,
Exactly.
I'm not going to allow for them to kind of
This
like
is it, bro.
utilize that as because that's what that'll be their excuse. You know, oh well, you know, you got us when we didn't have this player or that player, or well, they'll manufacture their own excuses for if we beat them.
I'll take the 3 points. I'll take the 3 points.
I'll take that for 3 points.
No worries.
Yeah,
you didn't have your full team. No worries. No worries.
If it's 1-0 at the Emirates, cool. Yeah, exactly. If it's 1-0, cool. 2-0, cool. 7-0, cool. I could care less. Which as long as it's a win and a dub for us, that's all I care about coming up. So,
but Saka will be back though. Don't worry.
You know what? You're saying that.
Oh yeah.
I don't see why. I know that people are saying that Saka might be back. I know I've heard that some saying that Saka won't be back. It'll be interesting because it was a hamstring or something. Wasn't it like a muscle? It was a muscle injury that he had.
I guarantee you're right.
No idea. I have no idea what it is, but I just think he's going to be back. That's just my feeling.
Okay.
No,
because there was. I only bring that up. I'll let Irishman say what his piece was. But I was going to say real quick. It was said that it was a muscle. At least what I heard was that it was a muscle injury, and that there were usually muscle injuries. The muscle injury that was, like a hammer or something like that. Usually it's like 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks standard. Again, Chris is a better judge on that than us, or at least myself. But they were saying like 3 weeks is probably the minimum that you should expect them to be left out, just as in precautionary reasons. If they want to, if they want to do that, fine. I mean, they already know. You can already tell that Arsenal have some real concerns considering they started Sterling, and I think he didn't have a muscle. I don't think he got injured, and he only played like 30, 40. I don't even think he made it to the end of the first half. So
sad to say he was their best attacker though. That wasn't a good decision in my opinion by Tech to take him off.
Arteta, world class coach. That's what I'm telling you.
12, you're such a troll. You are such a troll. This guy.
I'm just saying. Hey, to quote Cooner Lee's, aka Liverpool Lee, formerly Liverpool Lee. Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. Just here to tell you.
But, no, I just think it's so funny with these guys that they're like they're trying to tell us how to go toe to toe with City. You're talking about this a lot. They seem to think that that's their job because they tried to do it last season and failed, I think. So they think that they're in a position to tell us who have done that for about 7 years.
No, they've eclipsed us now, Laszlo.
Beat them once. Yeah, we know. But look,
we're the past. They're the present.
Yeah. Well, we should be flipping this on them, and we should be the ones that they should be coming to for advice and asking us, how do you deal with Man City? How do you deal with the fact that it doesn't matter what you do, how good you are, if you don't break 90, you're not even in a conversation. Breaking 90 used to guarantee you stuff. 90 is now a minimum to even be in a conversation. Every mistake, every blip along the way, oh, they're out of the race now. Why? Because they're going to win every game, bar one or two. They're losing their minds completely down the rabbit hole of ref conspiracy and this and that. They've lost a run of themselves. But they should be coming to us and asking us, how do you deal with these guys, but also do with dignity? How do you carry on knowing that no matter how good you are, you're not going to beat these guys unless you're absolutely perfect? These people who like to talk about their invincible season, which wouldn't win them a league now, by the way. That points total that they got in the Invincibles, that probably wouldn't win them a league.
That's the 90 that you were talking about, Brian.
City have a good year. That won't win you a league. We tried it. We went toe to toe with those guys. We beat them. They haven't done it. I have yet to see this Arsenal team that apparently exists that has gone out and done things. Arteta has proved things now, apparently. They proved things. They've won what? What have they won?
The FA Cup.
They won
the
nothing.
FA Cup.
That's
the
it.
FA Cup.
A corner.
Yeah, a corner. And Jake, no, let's be fair. I think they actually picked up the Charity Shield.
Oh, let's
Oh,
not
yeah.
count
Oh,
that.
yeah,
That doesn't
yeah,
count.
yeah.
I ignore the choice. It
Let's
doesn't
give
count.
it to him. Let's just
Pre-season.
give it
That's
to him.
low. That's low. That's
Let's
low.
give it to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
The Liverpool fans were counting it. I was getting embarrassed.
That's
Come
low.
on.
That's
I know,
low.
yeah, you never count the
Yeah.
Charity Shield. But that's it for them. And we've been told that they're setting the standard, to go to like, okay, you're setting the standard of spending money. Cool. 600 million. Cool.
You know what I mean?
Give Klopp 600 million. He ain't giving you this shit. He's giving you at least one more league title. At least one more.
Quick question then for you, real quick. Does Chelsea make top four?
No.
JK? Chelsea
No
make
for
top
me.
four? No?
No.
Nolante, does Chelsea make top four?
Yeah.
Yes?
Mm.
Okay. I was going to Barnes. Pops. Sorry.
Just got to quit.
Pops.
No worries.
Did
no
they make
worries.
top four?
I gave Villa that spot, to be honest, at the very beginning of this season when I predicted. I think I had Chelsea.
I thought I was alone, by the way, by saying Villa was the top four. That's cool.
Oh, good.
I'm glad to hear I'm not alone, actually.
Nah, but I mean, now that honestly, if Reece, Lavia, and Caicedo are fit, those three especially, they have a good chance of finishing fourth. Because what I watched yesterday, and Lavia and Caicedo, as much as you might hate them 12, they were really good. Nah, they were really good.
Lavia was very good.
That Lavia did the Gravenberch on Gravenberch, and I said, "Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay." He's a
Caicedo
serious player.
Caicedo has some really, really iffy tackles on our players, and on top of that,
that's standard for him, though. Now that's standard for him.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a brute, but he can play though. And give credit where it's due. Those two, as a combination in the middle of the park, are as good as any two you're gonna find to me in the league.
Yep. Agreed. Agree, Pops.
What's interesting about that is that means that the vice captain now, I guess he's the vice captain, or I don't think he's the outright captain, because I think isn't Reece still the captain?
Reece is the captain. Yeah.
Reece is the cap. Reece was the captain before. I don't know.
Is the captain.
I know that they made Enzo
the captain, yeah.
But he is still the captain. He just wasn't the captain because he was injured, I thought.
I think Caicedo was wearing the armband when he went off, though.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right, Pops. I think before Enzo came on, because Enzo's the vice, so he was Caicedo. Yeah, I think you're right.
No, but Enzo isn't. So what you're saying is those two. Enzo is not a holding midfielder.
Out and out. You have £100 million player as the odd man out, possibly in that midfield.
No, but he's
when
on
you
it
spend
too.
$1 billion, 100 million doesn't matter though. You say 100 million like it matters. It doesn't matter. Jack Grealish sits on the bench. It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
I mean, yeah, okay.
No, but
our
Pops was
100
saying
million,
like
our 100 million players that some people like to quote is Nunez, and he sits on the bench as well. It doesn't matter.
It's not 100 million
because the value isn't real. Let's be honest, the value isn't real. That's why it doesn't matter if it's 20 million or 100 million. You can sit on the bench because it's not real. It's not. Enzo's not.
No, but what Pops is saying
player.
is that Lavia and Caicedo is the best two in that combination. In the league. Is what he has two holding mids.
You look at the physicality and the skill.
Yeah, forget
quality.
Enzo.
Yeah.
As those two, yeah, that's a great two. It is.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. That's probably their best.
Best the two guys. No, whether it's the best or not, but
I'm trying to say
two guys we wanted. Two guys.
Enzo is someone that was
that's
supposed
their
to
problem.
be their. I know it's their problem. Just having conversation. I got you. I know this channel's not blue by any means. I got you.
That's their problem. Yeah.
Oh man. All
Benfica are just sitting there going, we turned over 80 million quid on that guy in about 5 minutes. Yeah, literally 6 months he was there. What they bought him for
I think the World Cup helped.
Yeah, but they bought him for about 12 million. Sold him in January for about 110.
Yeah, about a year and a bit.
Even by Portuguese standards, that is crazy price.
Crazy.
And they
crazy.
Wow.
World Cup tax.
That's mad. World Cup tax. That's crazy.
Like, no doubt he's good. Like, is anyone here saying, oh, he's shite? No one's saying he's shite.
No. That's not it.
But 100, he's what, 40? 40. In a real world scenario, he's a £40 million player from Benfica. You know,
with some
Chelsea
prem tax, I'll go to 50, Laszlo. I'll go to 50.
Plus
prem
Chelsea
tax and everything. Chelsea tax and all that. Yeah, 50,
wins
60,
a World Cup,
and I'll be fine.
Bit
wins
of hype
a World
around
Cup. Yeah. Some add-ons or whatever, but 100 plus, never.
Wow.
Not for me, anyhow.
Wow, Chelsea, man.
Chelsea.
But we bid 100 for Caicedo though. It's amazing that
we got in the
now
room.
Rice is 100 million. Rice was 100. Enzo's 100 plus. Caicedo's 100 plus. Imagine that. Rodri. If Rodri were for sale now, Rodri's what? 200 then?
Oh yeah, easy.
Oh, if Rodri is 25 now and he's never been injured,
how much are you paying for a Rodri?
180 or something. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Probably.
That's crazy.
End the stream 12. End the stream 12.
Yeah, what to say? Whoa,
what prime Makaleli? Wow. What would a prime Makaleli cost?
Oh,
prime Kante,
Edgar Davids. Oh my days!
It's all about
Graham
the DMs
might be
now.
saying, "What about me? What about me? What about me?" Prime Graham Souness.
Yeah, just
prime Roy
Keane. Yeah, these boys these have seen as the whatever, but now it's 100 million for Rice. 100 million.
Yeah, Rice, baby.
So, let's end the stream on that one. Well, our £100 million chat out there, you do not sit the bench. You are absolutely worth every penny, and we appreciate you for joining us today. I got to give props out to the panel. Big shout for Pops from Beijing Reds TV joining us today. So, appreciate that as well. And shout out to JK, shout out to Brian, and shout out to Nolante as always.
Bless, man.
But we are going to end today with that. And just move on because heck, we got a preview or possibly a preview tomorrow for the Champions League match coming up. Got Leipzig in our radar or on our radar as a team that we're going to have to prepare for. Then it's on to the weekend. Games are going to come fast and furious. It's going to be a lot of fun to be a part of all these. Football's back for a little while, at least until they stick us with another international break. But let's enjoy it while we have it. So again,
And go and subscribe to Norm's daughter's music channel, Becca Music. If you do anything else, like, go to Becca Music.
Yeah, let me see if I can bring that up again.
Get her started up again. Apparently, she's not uploading much, but
no, yeah, we got inspired. Yeah,
get her.
If she sees some of the subscriptions going up, it might inspire her to drop some more of her music. Maybe a song for Cujo. Maybe she can. Maybe that'll be her inspiration.
She'd definitely be cheaper than Bono.
Yeah, she'll be
definitely be cheaper. And better, probably.
Yes, exactly. You said it, not me. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
But before that, we were going to say peace out. It's about 3:48 on the mark. So do you guys want to say quick anything you want to say? Pops, I'll let Pops at least give a shout for his channel and also anything that he's got coming up on the channel that he wants to tell everyone about.
Thanks for having me, guys. 12, big out every time. And we are doing our reaction in about an hour and a half, I think. And then tomorrow we'll be doing our weekly review.
Okay.
Not sure if we're doing anything on the Champions League because we'll all be at work while that's on, but maybe. And then it's previewing on to the weekend against the Gunners.
Okay. Cool. Tell Barnes I'm gonna watch the show. I know I'll be in the chat because I know Barnes was giving some unnecessary praise to those Red Devils. Trying to be hospitable on your new weekend show. I was like, hey, cut the stream. Cut the stream. You don't need any praise for those Red Devils. But all good.
Yeah, big up to Flawless too, actually, and Sarcasm City TV for having us on, man. It was a cool show.
A very good show. Very good show. They got their show going off on the weekends as the little cross between those two channels. It's excellent show.
Nice.
JK, do you want to give a shout for bounce?
Yeah, big up to this panel. Pops, good having you on, bro. Nice chatting to you. Nilante, Brian, and yourself, 12th. And also, I want to say a big up for Trent Alexander yesterday. I reckon he played big time. I think Trent,
just for JK. Just for JK.
Nice one, bro. Thank you for your presence. Sorry, bro.
That's
man. Trent, I don't know if you guys sort of rated him earlier and stuff, but for me, I think it was probably one of his best games at right back.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, nice,
JK, we needed you earlier, man. Where are you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, same, yeah.
Well,
take that, Steve Nicol and Craig Burley. Listen,
it's all over that. Well. All over that one.
He did well, didn't he? He came out well at the end.
Imagine that, Laszlo, a right back defending. Imagine
wow.
That. Oh,
yeah.
How about that?
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, who would have thunk it? Kyle Walker, who? Anyway, Nilante, do you want to give a shout? Or do you want to give a shout? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, once again, just gonna end it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, been a great, wonderful panel again. Shout out again to 12. Like, share, and subscribe. The one, the only, the Brian, the flying Irishman. He'll come in controversial, come in cold, hard facts. We got Pops. Go subscribe to Beijing Reds TV now. Bless up for you, Pops. You know what I mean? I would come on, but it's late over here in the UK, so I need to come on, man. Honestly, I need to come on. I miss you lots. The big up, Pops, always, man. You said JK. Big yourself up as well, man. Blessings all the time, JK. We'll speak.
Nice one, bro.
But what I want to say to end this chat, it's been an interesting chat. It's been an interesting day. Them Scummy Blues, we beat them 2-1. They'll go away again, crying into the West London milk, moaning about playing to their potential. Top of the league, they say. Slot can't do it, but the slot machine rolls on. We go on to this weekend. We know about them nasty Gooners. All I want is one win to find the Arsenal fan TV crying again. And will I say, I saw my main man, Joey G, Liverpool's coming on. That was no surprise. In the words of the great poet, Maya Angelou, still I rise. And on that note, I will end it, ladies and gentlemen. As I always say, take care, be safe, take care one of another. Bonjour, arrivederci, sayonara. Peace out.
Nice.
Nice, Brian. I did not forget. Do you want to take a little shout too?
Cannot follow that.
Yeah, I know it's difficult to follow. Very difficult to follow. But yes, this is what Beijing Reds channel right here. And this is Becca's channel as well. If you want to go and subscribe, do them a proper shout by subscribing to their channel. That'd be much appreciated, because you know how we do in our community. We do the best to always support one another, and also, if anything, always remember that you'll never walk alone, which is an important measure to keep in our hearts. So appreciate everyone joining us, and like we always like to say, up the Reds, people. Simply put, up the Reds. Top of the league to you.
Bless.